They won't be live much longer, do they? Yeah.
Fingers crossed James does break that.
I mean, that will
Yeah.
save on trying to crack down the virgin sacrifice.
Mm. I mean, ideally,
Well,
I would
only
go
if he's the
but-
virgin.
Mm.
It's not quite as important with the I mean, actually, no, they're from Wales. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
Okay, stream is now live. Just realised I haven't put that on the announcement. So, yeah. Why are you giving me 720p preview? I don't need a 720p preview. I don't need it in 720. Put it in... Yeah, that's better. Sorry, Twitch have decided to give me a 720p preview
Okay.
for an image that big on screen.
Why? That's weird.
So I've set it down to 160, which is probably about the right size.
Mm. Do you know if we're getting a James tonight?
No,
or is
James isn't going to be able to make it today, so it'll just be the three of you.
He's in Wales right now.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Ah, yes, of course.
Apparently he went on holiday and didn't request our permission first, so
Inconsiderate.
he is going to have to bring back the sheep. I did tell him.
Why would anyone want to go to Wales?
Depends on the part of Wales.
Cardiff is supposed to be quite nice to visit.
Cardiff, I can tell you, is nice to visit. It's very nice.
Yeah, for the day.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
Lots
that's
of
fair.
Doctor Who stuff in
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah, I
That is
did a
also
half
true.
marathon around past it.
You did a half marathon there, did you? I say, God. Why?
I don't lose.
Why?
Masochism? Masochism?
It felt like it at the time, but now.
charity body.
Yeah, charity.
Yeah, that's as close as I fucking got. And it hurt, did you say?
Because of my arthritis.
Oh,
Yay!
yeah, that'll do it. Right, folks. Hi. Not sure if anybody's actually in, but if you are,
We are.
Yeah, we're here.
yeah, you're here. That'll help me.
Oh no, far too late for that.
Okay, Satan help me.
He's not even qualified.
No,
No. Anyway.
Behind you.
Oh,
mate. Bold Baphomet.
no, we're going to go full ghost.
Full goat. Full goat.
Links Africa.
Links Africa.
Yeah, I think we went to the cinema yesterday. We watched Strays.
Uh-huh.
And then Links Africa. And it's a big goat.
What? Okay.
Now I have Toto playing in my head.
Toto, what? Oh, really?
No.
As the rains down in Africa. This is your fault, remember that.
You've no one to blame but yourself.
Before we get started, I at some point I'm going to have to show people that shirt.
Oh, what, this one?
Yeah,
Have I not worn this one?
I think
before?
you have.
Yeah, say, I'm pretty sure I
It's been a
have.
while,
Yeah.
but I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to, with your permission, show the
Oh, of course. Yeah.
when the time comes.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
My dad's got one from It Ain't Half Hot Mum, if you can remember that.
Yes.
The less PC of all three of them.
I actually got one. Of all places, I got a Sid James shirt of Sid James on a BMX from Blue Banana.
Hey?
I know, it makes no
Why?
sense. I just saw it there in the window. I was like, oh, I don't know.
That is confusing as
That's
fuck.
one of 2 times I've been in that club. And the other times get cosmetic contact lenses for cosplay.
There.
Got an eye infection from it. It's not fun.
Yeah, I was
Right.
going to say, yeah.
I go
Yeah.
head.
Yeah,
I have never been there. Legitimately.
I've been in there a couple of times because my
it's fine.
It's
look, at one day she almost got her nose pierced and she decided against it.
oh, fair enough.
I go to trouble.
You get away?
Trouble voice. I go
Oh, trouble with, yeah. I'm aware of it, but I've never
I think
needed
yes.
to go.
I know somebody
I've
went
never
there and
been
had a
to Spain.
massive arm
No.
tattoo done. Like had most of his arm wrapped up in cling film. Anyway, let's get started. So, fuck, where's the startup sequence? The startup! There!
You've been doing this for years is, mate. How do you not know yet?
Because it's a laptop that has a different layout to my one at home.
Alright, okay,
And I
fair
also
enough.
have to use a fucking touchpad. And touchpad
Don't like the touchpad.
is awful. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the ICNI broadcasting system. Tonight, bringing to you... Eventually.
And it's still a long load time.
I did it faster. Dungeons and Dragons, Laridian. And this time I actually remember the camera, although the camera is kind of a bit shit. So let me just pause the music. And
Why did you bring the shit?
because it means less plugging and unplugging of equipment.
It's fun.
However, considering what the picture is like, I may be reconsidering that for future. So, can I show your shirt?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Behold.
Oh, trying to make sure I don't get anybody's faces. Yeah, you're leaning so far back I can't actually show the top of the shirt. There you go.
There
There we go.
you go.
Who are you remember?
Huh?
Who are you?
Yeah, true enough. My dad says it's got a picture of Gunnery Sergeant, whatever it is, and it says, "Oh dear, how sad, never mind."
Considering one of my audience members has the name von Klinkerhoffen.
Oh yeah, that's true, yes. Well, he should bloody remember.
Yeah. Right then.
Good morning.
It's just hissing by. We are children. Anyway,
What do you want, you silly boy?
I just realised you might not actually know that one at all.
Yeah, hello, Dad's Army.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Good.
We are the same age, you forget, Ian. Yeah,
When's your birthday?
1st of October 1997.
I just left the graph the year before.
Oh, wow! When were you born?
November 98.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So there is a year between us, but still, that's pretty close.
So
Mm.
I got married the first time in 2000.
Oh, God.
My brother was born in 2000.
I was getting ready to go into secondary school.
Ooh. Pain.
Yeah, it was painful.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I left secondary 85.
I was born the next
How
year.
old were you when you left secondary school? Out of interest? You were 16, yeah.
My mum was 5 in it.
That's it.
I'm feeling so very old here.
Yeah, we got it.
Don't be. My great grandmother was born in 1905. You want old? That's old.
I didn't still with it.
No, correct.
It was like a blood.
Although she was 104 when she popped it, so she did pretty well.
Just think when my great grandparents were around.
I don't know, when were your great grandparents around?
Well, let's put it like this. Before the 20th century.
Okay.
Yeah, Mum.
Oh, so you have an old family then?
Yeah, mostly, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just get on with the
My
game.
nan was 1917.
1917.
Yeah.
No,
Unfortunately, she made it in 99 and 3/4.
that's a bomb.
Just short of 100. Yeah.
That's a bomber.
Right then. So we left off last time, which was a couple of weeks back, with the guys having infiltrated Fort Rook's highest echelons in order to gain access to the control room. Unfortunately, the person who went there has been was taken ill that week and had to leave.
Yes.
And he wasn't able to make it in this week either, unfortunately. So
No.
we're going to retcon things just a little bit to get the rest of the team up there.
Oh, I see. So I somehow managed to TP up there.
No, what I am going to do is I'm going to have it that after he got up there, he found a way of activating the elevator.
Ah. Right, I see.
You're not going to squeeze through those parts.
Oh, no.
Not hold.
No. Mm-mm. Unless someone could have cast Enlarge Reduce on me, that was not going to work. And no one had that spell on, so...
I'm a rogue.
Yes.
Lash didn't think he'd need that.
No. I did try and get it on a scroll when that didn't work. But, you know, come see, come ça.
Anyway. As you head up towards the top of the structure, I'd like everybody to make me a charisma save as you first open the door to see who picks up Norbit.
15.
Yeah,
Let's make it low.
Now, the two of you better roll higher.
20.
More dice, it doesn't count. Roll it on
Yeah.
the table.
It's also immediately a D&D game.
17.
So what's your mods?
Charisma, yeah.
Charisma, yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless, it
19.
beats me. I only got 15.
Oh, that with mods as
I've
well.
got 0 more.
So,
19.
Oh dear me.
you are aware that Norbit has turned into a plushie. 20.
yeah,
You
but-
are aware that Norbit has turned into a plushie. You say hello to Norbit as you unconnect. Do you pick up Norbit?
Who's got James?
You've already both passed.
do we roll off and like do we try again?
Oh, Lash
Oh,
can
yes.
roll. You're right. I forgot to roll for Lash. You might be saved.
I don't really want to.
No, that's true. Yeah, you can have one because you failed to save, but
Well, I know, but Lash didn't do it. If Lash fails more than he did, which to be fair, Lash's got a good mod, so then Lash will end up holding both of
so
them.
when he rolled nat 1.
It's quite possible.
No. it would be
Sorry,
equal,
he did.
15.
He equaled you on the dice, and he's got a better mod. So
Oh dear,
sorry. You have plushies.
both of them.
Shove them in my portal. Shove them in my portal.
Every time it still sounds dirty. Oh no, it's the GTA pocket. That's what that is.
Well, I've got like a large gun in there. That's a euphemism.
Yes, it is. Deary me.
Now, let's not boast about how large of a gun one can pack into their hammer space.
Fucking hell.
Quite large.
Quite large. Impressive.
Yeah, but locked on.
Yeah, true.
We are children.
Yes, we are.
Tim's is still bigger.
Hmm?
Tim's is still bigger.
Yes.
Technically, Tim's dead.
He's a god.
No, he hasn't ascended yet.
Or has he now?
We don't know.
Has it been or no?
The event hasn't happened yet. If you remember, the event is the potential.
Oh, right. Ah, no, I did not remember that. I do now.
I did tell you this.
No, didn't remember that.
I've got brain issues.
Yeah, that's a completely legitimate reason, yeah. I mean, we weren't going to say it.
No.
It's okay.
Well, you remember that.
Yeah,
Well, no, it's
something's
got it
gonna do
written
that.
down. It's on the inside of it.
Ah, yes. Brain issues.
Yeah.
Your name,
Tattooed.
your name is such and such. You have brain issue. I think I may have put my shirt on backwards.
Who am I?
I'm not even joking. I think my shirt is on backwards.
Oh, you've legitimately done it. You have, haven't you?
Wow, I was
dearie me.
not awake when I got dressed, was I?
Oh, dearie, dearie, dear.
Fuck's sake.
Well, I've got shirts with points on the front because that's the only way I know which way the shirt
fair.
is.
In my defence, I wasn't wearing my glasses.
Ah, fair. How blind are you, sans
What's your
glasses?
prescription?
Oh dear. This is going to be bad, isn't it?
Well, that's it. It's a minus prescription.
Take a look through them.
Oh, it's not good. It's not good. Oh.
Seriously, take a look through them.
Mm. It's not good, is it? It's not the worst I've ever seen, but it's not good. Woof.
No.
Do you have any astigmatisms at all?
Not to my knowledge.
Most people have got an stigma.
Well,
I was gonna say,
not a major.
I've got major astigmatisms in both eyes. That gave me a bit of a headache.
No, my glasses just have that effect on people.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, my vision is terrible. There was a point where I could swap glasses with my 70-odd-year-old grandfather. Actually, 80 by that point. Then he got
Still see.
eye surgery, and he couldn't do that anymore because my
Because
glasses were
yours were
stronger.
Yeah, I took me to a cataract and
These are double thinned.
Oh wow. Oh no.
1.74.
It is still
Can't remember
not.
off the top of my
It
head.
is still not the worst I've ever seen.
Oh, no.
The worst I've ever seen was, I shit you not,
Yeah.
about that thick,
Oh, I've seen.
and he needed a magnifying glass as well.
Yeah, we get those in the iPhone.
Took the hind leg off a donkey, that man, but he couldn't read at all.
So, you guys are elevated via the elevator that Norbert has managed to activate for you,
Mm-hmm.
you find yourselves in a control room. Around the outside, there are a number of different stations. There are also there are labels on these stations giving various different functions. You've heard this description before, but just to remind everybody. And in the centre of the room, you can see there is a single person. Well, there was a person who was on a control chair.
It is now a plushie.
That body is now to one side. To make
Oh, that one, yeah.
With the headphones.
Yes.
Trying to get the
There are also numerous display screens around the room which are dark.
Mm-hmm. So, according to my notes, we got one console checked out of the multiple that are in this room.
I was thinking, can we use it? Does this structure fly?
You do not know.
I mean, it landed here, so theoretically it could, but
This could be our way up to.
maybe. We've still got the.
I will say you did ask Brian about that.
We've still got the pinnace, though. Don't forget.
Well,
I didn't want to say it. Well, it's in design. Certainly, it's getting there.
It's in the shop.
It is in the shop. It is.
Oh, what, by the
The artist.
Mm-hmm.
beholder.
You're getting a beholder to work on a spaceship for you.
Mm-hmm. That's
This-
not going to go badly.
This
at all.
game is weird.
Yeah. But I mean, hell, the end of the world motivates people.
It's not to do with that. We're coming back. Goes above the moment.
Not. To be a naughty boy.
He is entitled to do what he wishes to do.
Yes.
Whether or not he survives that.
Yeah, that'll be the interesting bit. I wrote down these numbers and I can't remember what they were for. Oh, they were for someone's stats.
No, it was
No. They were trying to open the...
No, that's those. They are different because it's 7 numbers.
Ah,
Yeah. I don't need those.
was that James when he was doing his?
No, because it was when you and me were here. So I think they're yours, actually.
There you go.
Yeah. Now I know what they were. Right. So where exactly did we get to? We got that one console done.
Norbert was about to. Pretty sure he was about to plug into the main one.
Okay.
You're probably not a slightly higher intelligence than I am.
Slightly. Yeah.
+1.
Yeah. Right. I will plug myself in then.
Okay, which console are you plugging into?
Which one did Norbert just plug into? If there's the how many were there? 6, was it?
There's a variety of them around the room. Basically,
Okay.
there's quite a few.
I'll just plug into the one the next door one that
Okay.
he didn't.
Can anybody remember the list? Because my brain just blanked.
I don't know if you gave us one, to be honest.
I gave you a few examples. Because you were going to have environmental control, weapons controls, defensive systems, ECM, electronic warfare, reactor control.
Environment.
Someone playing with a good chain.
Is that?
It's a van being loaded.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
delivery.
it's ISO, so.
Environmental controls, weapons,
Defenses,
defense.
electronic warfare, ECM. Just put.
Mhm. Reactor controls.
Reactor control, systems monitoring, sensors, computer systems, communications. How many was that in total?
9.
Yes, that is correct. Plus
Cool.
the central plus the central one which the guys plugged into.
What's the something?
Plug in and find out.
Yeah, you can do that if you want. If you want to.
I'll plug into it.
Okay, climb onto the chair.
Pushing aside a skeleton.
Yeah, just keep it up.
And the skeleton's already been removed, if you remember.
Oh yes, yes.
Um,
Okay. How many lightning damage does he take? Yes.
yes, because that was explicitly mentioned last time that it was electrically charged.
Oh fuck.
I was just trying to see if Lash would remember, and
I did not.
I wasn't here.
What is that? Is that a 3?
yeah.
Oh dear.
Can everybody make me an intelligence check to see if they remember this
I
detail?
wasn't here.
It doesn't matter, your character has been here.
Okay, yeah, no, okay. It should be alright. Yeah, maybe not you.
That's why you're heading over there, just like, oh, let's find out what this does.
Yeah, that's an 18.
Yeah, you see him heading over towards the one which Norbert had mentioned was electrified.
Mm-hmm. Don't do that!
Why?
That one's got a live electrical current going through that. Hence why Mate You Boy's a skeleton.
Okay. Alright, can we turn the electric current?
I think we have to go through the monitors in order to do so. So, which one was Norbert plugged into? Before
Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you go to environmental?
He might have done.
I think so.
How far did we actually get before he had to leave?
Not very
Okay,
far.
right. I'll plug back into yeah, okay, yeah, I'll plug back into environmental controls
Okay.
and see what more we can do.
Okay.
Can I plug into sensors?
Okay. 2 ones at the same time. Okay.
If you can handle that.
Sure. It just makes it so much more complicated as what's going to happen on the screens.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
as you are standing outside, you watch these two plug into these consoles.
You haven't got plug in.
And the screens light up with 2 separate views. One appears to be from him, one appears to be from him, inside of these black environs where you can see a faint blue glow in the distance with black lines arcing across it. This matches up with the descriptions you've heard from these guys of what the computer systems look like, but the blue glow is new. You went into sensors, and you went into environmental controls.
Mm-hmm.
Roll initiative, just so I can tell which one of you go first.
24.
22. And a roll higher than you.
I've got
So-
no.
Yeah, you do.
The sensor systems are going first. As you connect into the sensor system, you see that view before you. You can also see that there are numerous lines that are radiating towards a central point in the middle of this environment, which are pulsing fairly regularly. You can't necessarily make sense of what the pulses mean, but they are rhythmic and they are all heading in towards that one central area.
But I've got like an avatar at the end of it.
Yep, same
That's
avatar.
towards central area.
So you're search the area, did you say?
No, central area.
Central area, okay. So you're heading towards the centre of the area. As you do, you once again get that faint sense of resistance as you're moving forwards. But this time, you notice that there are a number of different cubes, basically, that are interspersed around the centre area that are connected into these wires, one to an individual cube. Cubes then have another wire that feeds into the central block of this sensor system. What do you wish to do?
Can I touch the central?
You're going straight for the central. Okay. You put your hand up against it and you feel a faint resistance. There's a sort of tingling sensation.
Keep on pushing through.
Okay. You push your hand on through and your arm starts to be pulled in.
How big is this cube?
It's about the size of a small house from your perspective.
Oh, I'll walk in then.
Okay, you step into it. We'll come back to what happens to you in a moment. You,
Okay.
you're in the environmental systems. From your perspective, you can see a big tree forms the centre of this particular nexus.
Mm-hmm.
Numerous lines are going into it, but only 1 or 2 of them occasionally are pulsing.
Okay.
Most of the time, there is just one thick green line that is steadily brightening and darkening, brightening and darkening.
Okay. We'll make for that one then.
Do you wish to head to at the end near the tree or the other end?
What is on the other end, or does it just sort of vanish into the
Stretch off
dark?
into the distance.
I'll go for the tree end in
Okay.
that case then.
As you get towards the tree end, you can see that all the different lines head into the centre of this tree. The trunk itself is big enough that you could probably fit inside of it if it was hollow.
Okay.
This particular green line is pulsing at a steady rate.
Okay.
Every now and then there's like a single glitter on one of the lines that goes in, but otherwise,
There's barely anything else going in.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. What happens if I touch the line? If I grab it?
you get a tingling sensation in your hand.
Okay. Can I gather any kind of information as to what this is?
When you try to assess what this is, you get a label pops up hovering over it in your mind,
Okay.
which is radiation level monitoring.
Okay. Okay. How many lines are there going out of this tree? I imagine a fair few. Yeah. Might be a daft question. What were we here to do in this control room?
You had a number of different things you wanted to do. One of the options was to try and remove the interlocks on the AI that you encountered.
Yeah.
Another one would be to shut down the reactor to try and reduce the radiation so that you could move more safely around this place. And also access interior areas and study things and try and figure out what's going on here. The main thing you wanted was to get the stuff for the cunt on a motorcycle. It's going to be back in a second. There's a dead end.
Yeah.
I think he's just realised that. And the final thing was to get the stuff for the Iron Mask, which you have been told are probably launch codes.
That's where the dangerous thing to give him. And give any control of any nuclear weapons.
They don't necessarily know they're nukes.
Smart.
Right. If this pipe is the reactor radiation monitoring software. First thing I'd like to do is check the wires going around. I assume that pop-ups come up
You
when I
had
go
to
over to
touch
them.
and focus, but you can do that.
Mhm.
Basically, these are multiple different systems, including air vent access,
Mhm.
Air filtering, air level monitoring, and you can see that there are big bundled cables which have lots of little finer ones that come into them. For instance, the the radiation level one has lots of little bundles inside of it that split off further back.
Okay. Is there one that says something along the lines of reactor fail-safes or anything of that ilk in
Not
here?
where you are.
Okay. All right. Next thing, I'd like to follow the radiation line into the dark.
Okay, it splits off into numerous different ones.
Okay. What sort of options have we got here in the splits?
It gives you locations for where the monitoring is coming from.
Right. Okay. All right. In that case, I'm going to pull out of this one then.
Okay, come back to you then. You step into a white void. I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh dear.
11.
You can't make any sense out of what's going on around you. You feel like you're being bombarded on all sides by too much. You don't know what, just too much. It is blinding. It is deafening. Your sense of smell is being overloaded. Your sense of touch, it's like pinpricks all over and feathers all over. It's like, too much. you back out of the area.
Mhm.
Going into the central area seems to be quite unpleasant. What do you wish to do?
There are other cubes. right?
Yes, there are smaller cubes dotted around the outer, dotted around the centre.
Any particular colours?
They're all white. The cables that feed into them they wouldn't be coloured, unfortunately, because that wouldn't. They aren't coloured, but there are patterns to the way the signals go into them.
And they're all different patterns?
You can recognise that there are about 5 different types of pattern.
Is there one cable going into each cube?
No, multiple cables. You reckon there's probably between. Actually, no. Make me an intelligence check. 3 again. Woo! There's a lot of them.
Yes.
The difficulty was a 10.
Oh god.
I was being nice.
Not that nice. In which case, I'm going to
Not
go
nice
to the
enough.
middle cube.
Okay.
And how many cable? We over 10?
Yes, a lot more than 10 going into the central cube.
No, I'm not talking about going into this. Also, the middle cube.
Yeah, every outside cube has a cable going into it, and there's a lot of outside cubes.
I'll just. Do they look as though they're actually connected? Or they can be pulled out?
It doesn't look like something that is physically interactable. You can touch it, but it's not like something you can pull. It's like a piece of scenery in a video game. It's not something you can actually interact with beyond this is a surface. If that
Can I
makes
touch
sense.
the cube?
Sure, which one?
The middle.
Okay. Press your hand up against it, you get the same sensation as last time, the tingling.
Is it sucking me in?
You're not pressing through yet, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's sucking you back in.
But is this one big enough for me to stand in?
This is the same one you were going into last time.
Oh no, not that one.
Okay.
Not I think I was going to look at one of the smaller cubes.
Okay, one of the smaller cubes. Yeah, you could just about fit inside of one of those. Do you wish to try one of them at random? Okay. I'm going to roll a d10 to see which one. Okay. Not the one I was expecting, fair enough. You put your hand into this one, you can feel the same sensation as last time. Do you wish to go with it?
Mhm.
Your hand sinks in. You are watching this happen, by the way, outside. As you sink inside of this cube, make me another intelligence save. The DC is lower for the save this time, because it's less in.
That's 20.
Okay, you are absolutely fine this time. The area around you feels like it is white, and there's that same sensation of information overload, but that rapidly fades as you get used to it, and you find yourself observing about. You find yourself basically facing towards 20 views.
That's not confusing.
Except you're not looking at 20 views like distributed out in front of you like that. You're looking at 20 views as if you have 20 sets of vision.
Oh no.
And they are looking around the outside of the fort.
That's what I was hoping for, being sensitive.
Fair play.
So you are able to focus your attention on individual ones or allow your mind to focus on all of them at once. You'll get less information if you do that, but you'll be able to look in all directions, basically.
I look at all directions initially, unless I see something and I'll zoom in on that particular area.
Okay, nothing seems to be happening outside.
Does it give any readings like radiation or anything?
Yes, actually, when you start thinking about it, you can actually bring up radiation and light level EM detections, radio frequencies, radar detection. You can bring up all sorts of it. Almost all of them are nil background level. There's a couple which are getting very minor peaks, but it's like heat or humidity. One of the ones which you notice has a high humidity has a very prominent trickle of water running down the camera.
Okay, it's probably loading.
Mm.
Or the camera's fucked. I'll make a note of where this cube is in a minute.
Okay. Would you like to try a different cube, or what do you want to do?
I'll try a different cube. I'll try the one next to it.
Okay. Next one over. Save again. The DC is again lower because you've done it once already.
18.
Yep, you're absolutely fine. The DC, by the way, is now 12. So from here on out, it's just going to get lower.
Don't tell me that. I'll be doing this for.
There
I'll do.
you go.
As you dip into this one, you get internal sensors. Now, this time you notice a lot of them are missing. Sometimes you'll just have a blank sensor input and you can feel it like a dull throb that there's nothing there connected to. But at the same time, you've got a view around some of the lower levels of the base. You could look around, focus on different areas. You can't see any movement. It's still, it's quiet, and the radiation levels are very high.
No heat signatures.
There are heat signatures, but they're not moving. It's more like machines.
So the machines are working.
Yes.
Can I tell what type of machine?
When you start hovering over, yes, it will bring up information about environmental control systems, cleaning systems, water flow management systems. There's a coolant system as well.
What's the cooling system reading?
Coolant system is reading slightly elevated.
Can I control it?
Not from here. This is a monitoring room.
There's no way. Is there a venting to try and vent
Not from where you are.
radiation out?
Not from where you are.
I'll step out and step out of the
Okay.
system.
You both step out of your respective consoles. This has taken place over a course of a minute or two, and they both pop back out.
That was a pretty strange sensation.
Yeah, strange. Not super useful on my end. I don't know about you.
Well, I've got to look outside.
Well, that's good.
20 cameras at the same time.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Anything
It's quite warm and quite sunny out there, apparently.
cool? Chill.
And the radiation is pretty high,
Mm-hmm.
which we knew anyway.
Yeah. Environmental controls, basically the only thing working is the radiation monitoring gear. And everything else is just like, it's not really doing
Cooling systems, its sensors are picking up quite a bit. We'd have to find out how to control those.
Mm.
And if we could vent any radiation.
I think probably reactor controls would be a good place to go for.
One's on.
We've got weapon systems, defenses, electronic countermeasures, reactor systems, monitoring, sensors you've just gone into, computer systems, and communications.
Weapons.
You know, weapons. Fair.
Are you going in the same one or a different one?
No, I'm going to go into the reactor one.
Okay. You stop into the weapon system. What identification do you have in your chip at the moment?
I've got a major.
It asks for your authorization.
I'll give it.
Okay. It asks for your superior officer's authorization.
It was a colonel, I think. Very good remember. I can't remember.
Can you make a history check for me then to see if your character can remember for you?
11.
Do you remember there was one?
Yeah.
Access denied.
Step out.
Okay. And you're going into the reactor control.
Reactor controls, yeah.
And as soon as you plug into this one, there is a blaring alarm going in your head.
Ow.
Reactor exposed. Repeat. Reactor core exposed.
Okay.
Reactor exposed. Repeat. Reactor core exposed.
Okay. Is
Reactor
there
ex-
something in here that is that looks like where the alarm is coming from?
The entire route of the entire area is pulsating red and white.
Okay.
The lines are black and all head towards what looks to be What you saw in the imagery of the center of this base, a big ball of
Right.
glowing light that looks like a star.
Okay.
You were seeing this on the monitors, and you're seeing it as you pop out of the weapon system. This is what he's seeing.
We hit him.
Yes.
Turn the fucking thing off.
Excuse me. Is there a way that I can turn it off? Obviously.
Not that is immediately apparent.
Okay.
Close the reactor.
Yeah. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Did you say there were a bunch of wires running into the core?
Yes.
Is it the same deal as the tree? I go over, I focus. Okay. I will go around until I find the one that says alarm.
There are a lot fewer cables going into this one,
Good.
and you do see the emergency warning systems.
Okay. Switch that one off.
It refuses.
Override.
It
If I can.
refuses. Warning: reactor core exposed.
Okay. Is there one in terms of the pipes? This is that comes under shielding or something of a similar ilk.
There is a reactor shield control.
Okay. Let's have a look in that one then.
Okay. When you connect to it and try to look into it,
Uh-huh.
you get a menu pop up in front of you,
Okay.
which has basically 3 options come up.
Right.
One of which is already clicked, which
Okay.
is shut down shields.
Uh-huh.
The next one is physical shields, magnetic shields.
Okay. Right, we'll click physical shields first.
Attempting to move physical shields. Warning: physical shields unable to move.
Yeah, I assume that one wouldn't work. Alright, what about magnetic then?
Magnetic shielding activating. You hear a rumble go through the base. Magnetic shield activated.
Okay. They can hear me outside, right?
You don't know.
Uh
He didn't bother to tell you.
ah. Oh no, I wasn't looking, was I?
No.
Right. If you can hear me out there, what would I need them to do? Go into. Oh no, I wouldn't need to. I wouldn't need to do that. What is the alarm system saying now? Is it still blaring, or is it not quite so bad?
The alarm system is warning of critical damage to containment systems for the reactor.
Okay.
However, it is no longer blaring about the shielding being removed.
Okay. Critical damage to the reactor itself.
Containment systems.
Well, that'll be the physical containment systems, because I imagine they've just been stripped out, because the entire core of the pyramid is hollow. Is there a radiation level monitoring in here?
There is. It is slowly dropping.
Okay. Is there any indication as to where it might plateau?
Not really. No, but there isn't enough. There isn't enough information to be able to glean.
Okay.
You could make an educated guess, but it would be a guess. Hey, Moscat, good to see you.
Hmm.
I would put up a little screen so you guys could see when chat's saying stuff, but then you would see what chat was saying.
Oh dear. So that kind of shielding doesn't work. All right. Is there a sort of power slider on any of the wires?
What are you looking for?
Power output controls or something of a similar ilk.
Reactor output control.
That'll
is
do
one
it.
of the cables you find.
Cool. Where is it currently in terms of
It is presently set to overload by 20%.
Okay, right. I will very gradually bring that down to about 75%.
Okay. You ease that down. then realise you have to press the OK button after every single adjustment,
Okay.
and it just
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take it down slowly because I don't want to. I don't want to just go and then have something else go wrong.
fair enough. You take it.
I've seen Chernobyl. I know how this shit works. Well, not how it works, but I know that that's a bad idea.
You take it down gently. You let it down gently,
I let it down gently. Yeah.
and the system. You guys can feel a sort of clicking and metallic clacking sound going through the base as he is doing this. Ticking is probably a better description.
Bomb.
It's more like
Why is it like lash sounding?
no, more like if you took 20 cars, drove them hard, then parked them all in the same echoey room.
Oh, so it's like the heat dissipating. Okay, that's all right then. Okay, so now I've got it down to about 75. How's the fucking hell. That's it.
Radiation levels are dropping very slow.
Okay, slowly we can work slowly.
Yes, I'd probably quite like to fire the children at some point.
Yeah. Is there a sort of emergency scrubbing system in which the radiation can just be vented?
Not.
I can't see any system that would do that.
Okay.
While he's doing this, are you guys doing anything outside?
You have a shop. But do you remember who our superior was in the? I was a major. It's one was a crab.
No, because I wasn't here.
I didn't exist yet.
No, he existed, just not.
Well, not here. Yeah.
not in this plane.
Dear me.
You would probably say that where you were.
Yeah, it probably was. To be fair.
We all make decisions that we regret. Yours was
I think
coming
the
here.
word mistake.
Yeah.
No, his was coming after his brother.
Touche.
Oh, that was fun.
Always the brother's fault.
But don't worry, he got better.
Yeah.
Better.
Oh, we're joking.
It's much better now.
Oh, God.
Could say he's doing golden.
Oh.
If I touch one of the screens,
Mm-hmm.
does anything happen?
You get a slight radiating pattern come off it. Tapped it.
You know,
I'm not smart.
pretty smart, huh? Not actually.
No, I'm not.
What's your intelligence?
8 with a -1.
No, he's
There's
not.
someone actually less intelligent like that.
That is impressive, I'm not going to lie.
All right then.
He's more charismatic.
Okay. I'm going to pop out of my system now.
Excellent. Which was I ask you. Do you know who our superior was? If I was a major, who was the next ranking officer?
Not a fucking clue.
Because they wouldn't let me get into the weapon system without high enough rank.
I can't remember anything, to be honest. I can't remember any of the... Apart from the fact that Elvis was a lieutenant. Yeah, exactly. So that's not much use.
I wonder if Brian.
Maybe, yeah, maybe
where
Brian
is
is not.
Brian?
He's... Where is he now?
He was waiting down at the bottom. Do you want to bring him up?
I think maybe we probably should, yeah, because we're all up here now, so he'll have come up with us in the...
Do you want to suggest sending Norbit down to get Brian?
Yeah. Push it down.
Maybe we should just... Yeah. We've seen this enough times to know that this is just a thing that happens.
Ash volunteers to do it for you.
Ah, good. Thank you, son.
While he's going down to get them, is there any other consoles you want to try?
I would like to go back into environmental controls.
Okay.
While I'm in there, I will
You see the
search...
green line is pulsing very, very slightly slow.
Okay. While I am now there, I would like to search for the same thing I tried to in the reactor rooms, a sort of emergency venting
Right.
of some description.
You do see emergency atmospheric venting.
Is there like a sort of info box that tells me more
Sure,
about what
sure.
that means?
Flush atmosphere from sections of the fort in order to suppress fires.
That's more... anything to do with radiation management in here rather than monitoring?
No.
What else have we got?
We've got environmental controls, weapons, defenses, electronic countermeasures, reactor settings, which is where I've just been. Monitoring. Might be something in monitoring if you want to have a look in there.
I'll look at that.
Or maybe computer systems. Might
When
be.
you hop into monitoring, you can see that there is a big office-like arrangement appears around you. There are lines feeding into each individual desk where you can see there is a figure that is sat at the desk just still.
Hello. I'll tap his shoulder.
It feels like you're tapping a rock.
Dwayne.
There are a whole bunch of
Dwayne.
these ones.
Dwayne Johnson.
There's one at every scene.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
You will be punished for this one. You can see that there are numerous ones. They're faceless, just humanoid figures sitting at these desks.
Get to work.
Nothing.
On/off button on them.
You can examine them. When you start looking for an on-off button, you do see a system report pops up. Now, this particular one is observing spy satellite 2841C, which is assigned to the Morona area and is offline.
You were turning it on.
Nothing happens.
So is there an on/off switch for the remote?
Not beyond what's in that report.
Hmm.
You could make a perception.
I've got a bit of perception. He says we're on.
That is a possibility.
Oh, it is. Oh no.
I'll be 24.
Okay. You start thinking about this and you're looking around and you notice in the distance there appears to be one figure just slightly moving.
All of that one.
As you head over in that direction, you do spot there's a couple of ones over in this area that are still moving. They are sitting at the desks going,
It's
Quickly
stuck,
realise.
stuck in the idle animation.
you quickly realise that they're repeating an animation, basically.
I put my hand where they're going to start.
They keep typing,
Can I move its hand away?
just not move.
Get my fucking sword out.
You do not have the sword in this environment.
Yeah, you're in your Tron suit, aren't you?
Let's snap its head off.
No.
Have you ever tried to break granite
By
with
the
your
way-
bare hands?
By the way, you're watching him do this.
way,
This is he's doing this. He could just bring up the report at any moment, like he did for the last figure, but he's going through trying to stab it, trying to break its neck off.
Can I come up with a report?
Would you like to?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We bring up the report. This one is a weather monitoring that is presently orbiting over Gondosaurus, and when you bring up the report, you actually see a live feed of the planet from space, and you can see a weather system moving over Gondosaurus.
Is there any way of moving the image of the satellite to see what's around?
Not from here. Not with this particular one.
Yeah, there's just
is there
monitoring,
weapons monitoring?
Not that you've seen.
Let's see if I can, or
There are a few of these other ones which are doing the same.
monitoring for the big ships.
The chaser.
The chaser, yeah.
You could just go to the ones which are. Most of them appear to be weather satellites, similar to this one, in different areas around the planet. There is one which is stated to be lunar base number 4. Okay, you go into that one. There's a series of cameras that go around what appears to be a desolate, empty base that doesn't appear to have anybody in it, but you can see it has dome-shaped structures. Inside, you can see that there are chairs, there's the stuff set up. You do see one spacesuit stood up in the middle of a corridor, not doing anything. And when you get to an outside view, you can see the planet moving slowly across the sky in front of you.
The planet we're on.
Looks like it. This appears to be monitoring a base on the moon.
Any spaceships?
Not that are immediately visible. There does appear to be a landing pad.
Any aliens?
Any aliens?
Any alien?
At one point, you do think you see some sort of latch-like life form. You then realise it's a poster.
Oh.
So it's literally the camera has just
Beware of our enemy.
No,
Or something of a similar
It's a cheap sci-fi.
Oh,
channel.
see.
It's like the hostile xenoform versus aliens or something.
Oh dear.
Cowboys versus aliens. There you go.
Yes.
Any other monitoring system that
No, adventurers versus aliens.
It's us. That's what it is. It's us.
Oh my god, that would actually make a decent film. You have a LARP group.
Ah. It's like what's it called?
I've got a sword. Wait, I've got a radio. Oh, fuck.
Oh fucking shit.
Well, no. You have it that these things are primarily using melee weapons because they've got a shielding system that can block projectile weapons. So firearms are fucking useless. Military training ain't that good.
Fair.
Somebody who actually knows how to wield a rapier, they've got more of a chance.
I've got a LARP on the brief phone.
Yeah.
Yes, so they're going to have to find a real weapon.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, sorry. Yes.
There's a moon. Is there anything that can the chaser?
Make me an investigation or perception check.
Not with perception. Then.
I'm just going to warn you now, it has to be a high roll, and you will have to decide whether or not you want to keep that roll before you tell me it, because you can use your inspiration to re-roll if you so wish.
I use my inspiration. I get the same fucking roll.
Sorry.
That'll be 18. That'll be 18.
Okay. You don't find any that point to the chaser. Or rather, you do find a couple, but none of them are operational. They all appear to have failed. However, you did get an 18, so I'll see if I can give you something else. Oh, I know. Asteroid mining barge 27.
Pull up the report.
Okay. Camera feed pops up. You can see the planet, the curve of the planet ahead of you. You can see the emergency warning that the engines have failed and it is on a collision course. You can watch the fires stretching over the structure as it starts to spin.
Is this live feed?
Yes. As you are watching, you see this thing
no.
spinning out of control, burning up through the atmosphere. Do you wish to stay with it?
Yeah.
Okay, you are also seeing this as this thing spins for one final time, and you see a flash of Ludara
Oh, sugar.
before the feed dies.
That's one of the nations of the world.
Oh, it came crashing into. Oh,
Yes. Yeah, that's what we saw.
That's where you were hired. That's the city that's one of the de facto biggest powers on the planet.
Oh dear.
It just got hit.
This is gonna be one hell of a power struggle. God.
Hi, what? As in the Iron Man, the Iron Mask.
Hmm?
Did the Iron Mask come from that?
Yes.
I hope he's dead.
Knowing him, he won't be though.
He probably still couldn't avoid.
Yeah.
So you just watched possibly one of the greatest cities on the planet being wiped out.
That's not good.
And aren't you in the environmental one right now?
Yeah.
So you missed this.
Yep.
I'll
I'm just
click
like,
over to
"Doo-doo-doo-doo."
environmental controls. What was? Oh, you're still looking around for the flush systems.
I was, yeah. I haven't found it though, have
You're
I?
not finding any flush systems.
What's the radiation from that one, Chaos?
I hope there weren't any of the aliens there
Oh, well, on the ship.
on the asteroid.
yeah. They're just kind of swarming over Ludara. God.
Also, Ludara is in a central location on the main continent.
Oh, God.
But the only people who would be properly safe from that would be the elves.
Oh, wow. And the Dragon Empire. Forget you
true.
not. Yeah.
And
And the
the sea elves. We're in the water. They can't breathe in the water.
How do you know that?
Oh,
You don't know.
Peace out, motherfuckers. Bye.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to
So that's
hell.
Lash.
no, well,
After a few moments, Lash returns with Brian, who is stepping out of the elevator and is prostrating himself before this technology. He then sees what's been done to the High Priest and is he's hurriedly trying to put him back in place and try and put his arm back on when it breaks off as he's trying to put him in place.
Mate,
Your door.
mate, it's fine.
Yeah.
He's been dead for a long
Give up,
time. I don't think he cares. Hey! That's a relic. That's a holy relic now.
well, we're not saying this. We're in.
Oh yeah. Well, I've popped out now.
Just relax, my dude. He's dead. He's downstairs in a better place.
He's downstairs in a better place.
Recycling?
Yes, I'm positive that
Sure.
that's brittle. Positive he did.
Do you wish to pop out of the system?
There's nothing. Is there any other satellites?
There are plenty of other satellites, but the vast majority of them are gone.
And I will mention the fact that I don't know did anyone see that? I just witnessed an asteroid crashing into someone.
You what now?
Was that place important?
Oh,
Depends. What does it look like?
well, it's a bit.
If
Nothing
it's
there.
mush now.
Well, where was it?
Where was it?
You would be aware of this. You're fairly well educated, and you're fairly
Educated.
well informed about this world. You're a bard.
Yeah,
There are stories about it.
you live here.
You don't actually.
No.
That was Ludara. It's quite a distinctive skyline.
Oh shit!
Well, it was. Well, it's pretty distinctive now.
Don't say that. Oh god. That's not good.
I presume there's no camera feed now.
Not from that one, no.
That's bad. That's very bad.
It's bad for them, yeah.
Well, yeah. Bad for them. It's bad for kind of everyone.
Can we get hold of the Iron Mask?
We can
Yeah.
give it a go. Yeah.
What do you say?
Are you still there?
Are you receiving me?
After about 30 seconds, you get a reply back. Yes.
Where are we? Were you in the
Ludara.
No.
Good.
That's good then. Did you see what happened?
No, what's happened?
An asteroid crashed into it?
Not much of Ludara left.
That's to be expected given how close we are to this all happening.
You're very nonchalant about this.
I've been preparing for a long time for bad things to occur.
Well.
You went into a bunker.
That's one way to put it.
I mean, hell, bunker's a bunker.
Do you have any
While you're
progress
on
to report?
the line, while you're on the line,
Well, yeah.
Any news of my shipment?
Yes, I brought it with me.
Where are you?
You're on Laridian.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Where?
I'm presently waiting for you back in Rallia's Landing.
Okay.
You can say you can wait for a little bit because we're in one of the forts.
Which one?
Wilk.
Noted. Any progress on finding anything there?
I mean, it's happening. We're going through the files.
Good.
Let's just say that the forts are not exactly in mint condition after all this time.
Unfortunate. That would have been useful.
Mm.
I'm still trying to find somewhere getting up to space.
Well, we kind of have one.
How many people think
I don't know.
Are you putting that into the thing?
No, I was just like discussing that.
Your best bet for that would be New Koroth. That's where the main spaceport was.
we sort of guess that.
That much. Yeah.
It's also trying to get somewhere with actually that's pretty highly radiated.
Indeed. But considering you've managed to make it into a fort, that would suggest that you already have a way of dealing with it. Thank you for informing me about that, by the way.
No problem.
I'm not saying shit.
I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Technically, he's not my employer anyway.
He's not your employer. So,
Right. Sign off now. See you when we get back to Rallia's Landing.
Very well.
bye-bye, love you. Kiss, kiss.
Smiley face.
He replies with kiss kiss and then just deletes it. It's like, no.
No, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, jeez.
But yeah, you actually you spoiled that there. Because you thought to contact him.
I spoiled it as in I was,
You were just going to go back there and just have him there. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, fair enough.
At least we know that.
He's not going to lie about where he is. 'Cause-
No, that's fair. Well, he has no reason to, does he?
No.
He still reckons this is the safest place.
It's not what he said.
Hmm.
No, he said he'd been making proportions for a while.
As in he's trying to get a new core off of it.
Maybe, yeah.
Find a spaceship to get off the planet, regardless whether it blows up. He's off one anyway.
Not a bad idea, actually. It's pretty sensible.
Okay.
We'll go bring that other planet to go to.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I want to take some of my nation with me.
So, what do you wish to do now?
No. I'll ask Brian. Does he know the commander above the major?
Which major?
What name the major I'm using as an ID?
No.
No?
Why would I know that?
He might be in your files.
It might be. You would need to look through the files.
Can you not look through them?
You connect up to the computer system.
No, don't have that one then. Point to the central. Unless you want an electric shock.
I wouldn't dare. That's for the highest echelons of.
Well, that's you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you are the big cheese now.
I'm still not used to thinking about that. Let's just skip over that for now. He goes over and plugs into the computer console. He disconnects from the computer console.
Is everything okay, my dude?
I think you should connect.
I do so.
Yeah.
Okay, what's alright?
Do you wish to connect as well?
Yeah, if we can both connect.
Okay. You watch the outside as these two connect into the system. This is a prison.
A prison?
Prison.
Which one are we in here?
Computer systems.
Can we find out what
There is a crudely built cage containing an amorphous monster that rages in itself.
Fuck. Okay. What the shit?
Pseudopods can reach out from the cage's gaps and touch the control lines that lead in and out of it. but they never seem to be able to hold it for long before the cage warps shape to recontain it.
Okay. So are there wires going into this as well as everything else? Okay. What do some of the wires say?
These appear to be a variety of different ones for controlling different systems around the base.
Do we recognise this monster?
No.
Oh God.
Can I ask Brian if he knows what it is?
I don't know, but it's not good.
I think we need to get out now. Pull out.
Alright, cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna pop out as well.
You pull back out of the system.
Mm-hmm.
Your key disappears as you are now standing outside the system.
Right.
What's that?
Brian,
Yes.
was that the gentleman that we talked to downstairs, perchance?
I don't know. I wouldn't have thought it would be so coherent if. Maybe?
Okay, to know this one.
Mm-hmm. That was just a form that he chose to make himself look less
Yeah,
like that.
threatening.
Yeah. Considering that is the lock,
Mm.
would explain that he's the AI. That blob is the AI. That doesn't bode well.
And we've got to let that out.
No, we don't
Yeah.
have to. That is an option. That is not a...
I don't think it's a particularly good option.
No, neither do I.
Can we leave now?
Not yet. Brian,
Yes.
what was that we just saw? The scientific definition of that.
Uh, all right. What you just saw was a simulation. It wasn't literal.
Uh-huh.
It would have been a constructed image to try and get across the concept of what you were looking at. For example, environmental controls.
Mhm.
What did you see?
I saw a tree and various wires and such going into it.
For the monitoring, what did you see?
An office sort of system with computers arranged around it.
And for the other systems, reactor control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that are very much something that looked like what the reactor does now.
Weapon system, I didn't get that one.
No.
They have security systems for.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get through the security. That's why I didn't know who was supposed to be ranked above me.
We could try looking through the, but we'd have to figure out a way past.
That.
Yes, it could be just a security system. It might just be there to intimidate intruders, but
Would it be
Would it
possible...
work?
I regurgitate what I said beforehand about that could be the AI. Would it be possible that is in fact what that is?
There is one thing I noticed that you suggest that might be right.
Okay, go on.
The cage itself, some of the coding that was used in it, I recognise some of it. It's some of our most holy rites. They've been used to build that cage. There's litanies ingrained into the bars.
Ah. So freeing that thing would be an extraordinarily bad idea.
It's not just that. That's not what our ancestors would have put in. That's something one of my people put in.
Oh, okay. So you're saying this thing was a later development, potentially, or it's become a problem in later years?
Potentially.
Okay.
He did roll fairly well.
Okay. So freeing this thing is a bad idea. I would assume. If these things are representations of what we can comprehend, that thing looked evil as fuck.
If it is an AI, it should be a divine being, but my people chose to chain it.
Well, AI, being artificial intelligence, are mimicries of mortal intelligences,
No,
right?
they are ascended. They are higher. They are beyond the limitations of flesh.
But they're capable of fallacy, correct? They're capable of flaws.
Logically, but
That's the logical end goal of an AI that has had no companionship for hundreds of years.
potentially.
Yeah. And considering that there's been a lot of time distortion in this place, it's possible that that AI could have been here alone for thousands of chronological years, or perceived years, rather,
Potentially.
and it could have gone completely insane. Would that not be a logical end point of even a divine being's total isolation?
I would not like to say on the potential of divinity to fall, but in a hypothetical sense, your argument is not without merit.
Okay. How do we shut this whole place down? Is it as simple as going into the reactors, into the reactor management?
This is a fort.
Yes. Explain that to us.
This is a divine temple to technology. It is the finest device, the finest creation of technology. We
What
can't.
it was, it's been taken apart.
Been corrupted now, I would have said. I mean, you saw the artwork that was on the walls when we came in. You yourself said that was blasphemous.
Maybe there's a way we could recover it, fix it, bring it back into.
What's that old phrase? Turn it off and on again?
We could try a reset.
Reboot.
Yeah. Would there be a way
But
to?
we need to flush the. If you are right and it has become corrupted, we could try to reformat,
So we've got a virus protected.
set it back to original settings.
Factory settings.
Factory reset. if you
It
will.
won't fix the physical corruption, but it
No.
might fix the data corruption. But it will wipe everything my people achieved.
Can you store some of that?
Yeah. How much of that do you have?
I have a lot, but not all. We could not contain all that we achieved.
Can we download it onto data disks?
How many do you have?
Probably not that many. Oh,
I did find an awful lot.
yeah. Well, I'm imagining we'd need something in the thousands here. Yeah.
I have 20.
I don't think that's enough.
We need thousands. I've got 20. Does anybody want a hot drink? By the way?
Oh yes, actually, I'd love a cup of
We're
tea.
going to take a quick break while I make tea. Right. Oh, do you want some water?
No.
Hmm. Hmm.
A few different ones in.
Really, Jack?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're just sort of staring off into space.
Tired.
For
Last week's catching up to me.
Pardon?
Said last week's catching up to me.
Oh, you have a busy week, did you? Oh yes, of course. Yeah. No, I wasn't. Yellow.
Normal tea?
Yes, please, man. No, no sugar. Thank you. Right. What? Hmm. I mean, we haven't discovered any kind of cloud storage system or anything, have we?
No.
Did you say clown stalks?
Cloud storage. Clown stalks.
I thought you said clown stores, and I'm like, why are we going to a clown store?
No.
That's even worse than a clown stalk.
It's just sort of fungal growth clowns.
Or a
Like
stork in clown makeup.
storm, as in the bird.
Shoe-bill stalk.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Red nose at the end.
Oh.
I mean, the logical reasoning point of it would be that
I don't think it's going to apply for you, but you might see it would be interesting.
my house is too small for that.
Like dogs.
We would love to, but our house is
We already have them.
the smallest of dogs.
Hmm.
We'd love to have a dog, but we just.
Little shit, so very small.
Mm.
I mean, I'm really thinking.
Because you do not have.
If you're getting along, you can't tell me because you're pushing 6 at the moment. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not telling you that I'm getting a frog either. Getting a Pac-Man frog?
To be fair, credit to her for actually saying, don't tell me.
Yeah, no, she's not telling me not to do it. She's just telling me that I can't tell her that I'm doing it.
It's probably a pretty sure it's first.
Yeah, no, I'm getting a Pac-Man frog because that's the only thing that will fit in my spare terrarium.
A Pac-Man frog.
Pac-Man frog, yes.
Which they look like.
I will show you. So they are entirely, they're just body, their mouth is
It's the 27th.
28.
28, yeah.
So they are entirely.
Actually, might need to go around there.
Okay.
That's Pac-Man frog.
That's amazing. Yeah.
No, that one's fine.
Okay, good.
It's just the other one that's gone today, so.
Sorry.
It's only got skin. There you go.
Nasty buckets.
That's a Pac-Man frog.
I would have thought that would. But there isn't a clear definition between the two.
They are incredibly stupid. They can't swim.
They're an amphibious being that
it's
cannot
not that
swim.
one that can't jump either, is it?
Oh no, they can jump.
No. There's a species of frog which, when it jumps, it paralyzes itself midway through the jump. So it will spring.
I know about that.
Chat.
And then just smash itself on the ground.
Yeah, no, that's not these guys. Yeah, they can't swim. They will drown if they are in a deep body of water.
Wow,
Um,
that's really a very poor survival mechanism for a
Yeah.
frog.
they are terrible
They're
aimers.
actually frogs. They're not just badly disguised mice.
They could be. They are.
Badly disguised. I think very well disguised mice, really.
They drown.
I mean, they convinced the human race that they were frogs. That's a pretty well disguised mouse, for my money.
They are such bad aimers that they've got to be fed using tongs because they will miss or they will end up eating your fingers.
Why are you getting one of these things? They sound like the dumbest shits in the universe.
I
Oh, I
honestly
see.
I also think maybe you should let these creatures die out peacefully.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They're not stupid. How the hell they procreate?
Not well. Not well at all.
Things tell me the process involves like tweezers and you have to like rub them together.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. It sounds that way.
But I'm
The
getting one,
only
it's like-
species that physically cannot procreate without the aid of another species.
Oh, there are ones that do that in nature.
Legit?
Yeah.
I did not know that was an actual thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, quite a lot of plants.
Oh, that's true, but I meant like
Yeah, animals.
animals, yeah.
But yeah, most all gymnosperms, flowering plants. Just realised I'm being. What?
You just like realizing, oh, gymnosperm. That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Sorry, I was having a discussion about fucking. You know the guy I've shown you before, the fruit guy?
Oh yeah. The guy that eats all the weird fruits and such.
He couldn't understand what the difference between an angiosperm and a gymnosperm was.
Oh right, okay.
And I was like, I came up with this, an explanation that was, it's parallel evolution, basically. They are two separate ones. They branched off a long time ago. But because this particular evolutionary strategy is so effective, they have convergently come upon the same idea, which is creating fruit, basically.
Convergent evolution.
Yeah. And I said, it's like how there are some felidiforms which have converged on some dog-like patterns.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, hyenas. Hyenas are more closely related to cats than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But
They just happen to look like dogs.
yeah, they've got some very dog-like behaviours and not genetic, and evolutionary adaptations. Also, they laugh, which
Which cats don't do.
I don't know. In some cats, I've seen cats laugh. They don't make the noise. They do fucking laugh at you.
Mm.
But I'm getting a dog because I've got lots of touchy cold animals, and it's nice to have another one that is more of a look, no touch.
Right.
It's not poisonous, is it?
No, but I can't touch it because I've got
No.
there's toxins in our skin.
Yeah.
That can make them sick and kill them.
Oh, for God's sake!
It's the
How is this thing? How is the species alive?
It's the same for all frogs, though.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
That's why you really shouldn't handle frogs unless you can absolutely avoid it.
Oh wow! I never knew that. I must
Hey,
say.
hey, no, it's good to see you. Yeah, generally, if you're going to handle frogs, put some latex gloves on.
Yeah, fair.
Most frogs can cope with it for at least a little bit, but it's still not.
It's not great.
It's not ideal at all.
But yeah.
But
And
I was
fish.
just imagining it was going to turn out that they do have skin toxins, which only they are sensitive to. They're poisonous to themselves.
Wouldn't surprise me if
That'd be
this
probably
animal.
mating.
Wow. Okay. That's the worst days.
Oh, dearie me.
Right. Back to the game. What do you wish to do? You have discovered that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Brian has told you that you might be able to reset the base, but in the process, he's going to lose all of his people's creations.
Oh well. Shit happens.
Is there a way that talking to Brian here? Is there a way you can compress the files into smaller, more easily transportable units?
Yes, I would.
Either that or
Automatically.
Oh, dear.
either that or
And
bullet points.
And you'd still need thousands of.
We do
disk
not
space.
practice such blasphemy here.
Bullet points in shorthand.
Shorthand is acceptable. Bullet points are heresy. They've had schisms over bullet points. And small
What-
numerical lists, sure.
Were it to be stars or bullets or dashes, it was
Numbers.
interfactional war.
Has to be numbers. That was the settled one.
Roman numerals?
That's acceptable. Roman numerals are acceptable, but not preferred.
It's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
Literally. Literally, it's an older code.
Yeah. Oh, dear me.
The only thing is, it doesn't have a concept of zero.
They don't have a concept of zero. Oh, no. Roman numerals, of course they don't, yeah. But crows do. Crows understand zero.
Really?
Yeah, legit. They
How was that, how was that demonstrated?
they demonstrated it by they took a bunch of crows and they trained them to peck at the screen. There were two screens in front of them, and they had numbers of dots on them. And if they pecked the screen, then the numbers were the same. And if they didn't peck the screen, then there were clearly two different numbers. And, you know, they wired them up and everything as you do. And they managed to correctly state whether the numbers were the same or not 70% of the time. The most frequent errors occurred when the numbers were very close together, so like 4 and 5, for example.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. But the experimenters added in a blank screen. And the crows, because they were mapping their brains as they did all of this, they matched both blank screens as the same number.
So they recognised the concept of an absence of a value.
Yeah, they recognize they found the number line in their brain and the little individual bits that lit up.
As we were counting for 0.
Yes, because crows recognized that 0 was a number that came before 1. So they recognized that the absence of something equals the number 0.
Interesting.
Completely useless, but
Now
it's
I
there.
want to see if that's actually something that humans have built in, or if that's something we've had to learn.
Well, maybe, because the Romans didn't have the concept of 0, did they?
No.
And it's been a more recent mathematical thing, is the concept of 0. Yeah. But I mean, we've been alive for hundreds of thousands of years, and we didn't come up with 0 until like 1,000 years ago or
Well,
something.
that we know of.
True enough, that we know of.
I mean, we can't take the Roman numerical system as the only one that existed, because I think
Oh,
the Chinese one does account for 0.
couldn't tell you. I don't know enough about the Chinese
I
numerical
need to look
systems.
it up. Anyway, back to the game.
Yes.
Sorry.
Tangent.
Tangent about 0.
Yeah.
So, right, what do you wish to do? I really hope this flickering is on the fucking stream. God damn it.
Oh.
I have been told the most adorable fact by chat, which is distracting away from the game, but it's adorable, so it needs to be shared.
Go on.
Baby owls sleep on their belly.
Oh.
An owlet.
Yes.
An
And
owlet.
if it rains, they're a moist owlet.
For fuck's sake. Oh, why did that get me? For fuck's sake.
Timing.
True enough. Right. Is this fort connected to anything else outside of it?
We have the monitoring system, but nobody's been able to access that for many years.
Can you access it?
Yes, this room was sealed up long before my time, but we're here now, so we can access it.
Okay.
Can you transfer our data from here to get to that?
Maybe.
Yeah. If we could shift the data repository to another safe and then perform the factory wipe,
But we run the risk of the thing escaping.
even though it's still in its cage.
If it had already contaminated the data archive,
Is there a way that we can check if it contaminated the archives rather than just its own operating system becoming contaminated
Either that, or can you isolate just that portion?
and not send it? Yeah.
I don't know. I can try, but I don't know if I can do that.
Let's give it a go. Let's try it.
All right. Does anybody want to assist with this?
Oh, hell yeah. I would.
Otherwise, it's an NPC rolling.
Well, if it's an intelligence base, you can give it.
What I was thinking is we maybe break this down into tasks which you can all do.
I think that's probably the best idea.
Yeah, if it's dex based, I can do it.
So Brian's going to suggest that he and one of you guys remain up here to monitor the system and figure out which areas may be contaminated, while the rest of you head down into the computer room and pull any infected files out of the system.
Okay. So does that
Literally
mean
manually
I'll
tug them.
manually remove them? Okay. Might be a daft question. How hard is that to do?
I've never tried it,
Okay.
but
Does that mean we're going to meet the firewall and AI again?
no, you would be in the physical realm.
No,
I'd assume that to do everything up here, you need to be able to be plugged in.
Not necessarily. You can monitor on the screens what's going on and relay that way. If nobody else, he looks to Lash. Yes.
How quickly is this going to have to be done from identification to getting it ripped out? Are we working on a time limit here?
I will need to have a baseline of what I'm looking for in terms of contamination.
Okay.
In order to do that, I will have to allow a small portion of what is contained out for examination.
Do you need someone in there containing that?
If possible, that might give us more time.
Right. In that case, I will stay up here, and I will work to contain it. You go down. Lash go down. Do you want to go down, or do you want to help me contain this thing?
Okay.
You go down. Okay, right.
And
We'll do that.
And I'll take
Oh.
the dwarf and the
The dwarf and the gnome. Yeah.
with me.
I'm just going to roll to see what Brian makes of this. Actually, no, he only has to take one. Okay, he doesn't pick up on it. Lash, meanwhile, is sort of looking at you slightly funny, and then okay.
If you want to take the puppets, I mean, you know.
Comfort thing.
That's a bit rude, isn't it? Calling them puppets.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's like that bit of spitting image from the 80s. And what would you like, madam? I will have the steak. Vegetables? Oh, they'll have what I'm having. Did you ever see that? It's a great film. Margaret Thatcher.
And they
if
brought
that
it
makes-
back to BritBox. Oh my god.
I love the fact they tried to do it again in the modern era, and then they had to stop because the news was too memey in the first place. It was basically its own version of spitting image. They couldn't satirize it.
Oh god, it was amazing and horrible.
Yeah.
Although I will say the pulsating-headed, what's his face? That former advisor to Johnson, what's his name?
Oh, Johnson. Was that it? Was
No, the advisor to Johnson. The one who's the puppet had his head pulsated.
Oh no, I didn't see the new one. It's the old.
Which one was Johnson again?
What, Boris?
Oh, that. Oh, and the new one. I
Right.
didn't
I
actually
never
see much
actually
of
saw
the new
it.
one, to be honest. It could have been Rob.
No. It was.
Mm.
It's the one. It's the one who got kicked out in the end.
He got kicked out
Oh,
because you're not.
Matt.
He went to somewhere. It's
Oh, that one. That one. You mean the one that went all the way up to like Norfolk to see his family in the middle of lockdown?
No, not that one. There was another one.
Matt
The-
Hancock.
The one who was really horrible.
No,
What you mean? All of them?
he wasn't actually an MP.
Which one? Oh,
No, he was-
the advisor. This
Yes,
guy.
just the
Oh,
advisor.
right.
Dominic Cummings?
That's not. Oh. It's gonna dig at me because.
No, no.
I
Advisors. Are
I just googled advisor to Boris Johnson.
Oh, fair.
He's the bald one who really fucked up on COVID.
Yeah, that'll be Dominic Cummings.
No, not him. No, it's different. Anyway, it doesn't matter right now. Back to the game. So you'll be physically pulling.
Chat if you can find it.
Yeah,
Mm.
Diablo. Look it up for
Yes.
us. There you go.
PR sleuths for us.
Competent people.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to be pulling drives. From.
Okay.
I feel I need to punish you. I'm going to make you watch Scorpion sometime.
See, I tried to watch that.
I watched the first episode. It was so bad, everybody else in the house stopped watching it and just watched me rage at it. Like,
I have never
I
heard of
went
it.
I went into almost apoplectic rage over all of the problems with it.
Good word. Apoplectic.
No,
Love
literally, the rest of the family just stopped watching and just started watching me, and they were like, "We're gonna get popcorn."
This is way more entertaining than the show.
Because the very first episode,
I've seen
Yeah.
episodes of this and I can't stand it.
yeah, it's crap. The very first episode, they have somebody hacks the air traffic control system, and it's the only copy of the program that is the uncorrupted copy of the program is stored on this random data server, which they need to access to be able to recompile it.
Right.
So they go to this data server and they pull a drive live out of the rig. You can do that. It's not a good idea, but you can
But
do
it's
that.
doable. Yeah.
One drive
Right.
out of a RAID array. So they pull that, and they're like, we need to make sure we get this there safe. Where did they put it?
In a laptop bag.
If only.
Oh no.
Worse.
Rucksack.
Their shoe?
Worse.
Where?
Into the passenger side door pocket of a car next to the speaker.
Oh my god.
It was a magnetic hard drive.
They didn't know much about
Now, to be fair, that probably won't have broken the drive. Hopefully.
probably.
Then
Oh, dearie
they
me.
go on to discover that, that's not enough. We need to have a copy of the software that they use to direct these planes. All of the ones on the ground are corrupted. We have to get it from the aircraft. Because aircraft use ground control software. They don't have their own software. No, they all use the same program.
Isn't that the one where
You
they,
really did get
they
away.
have to try, they go,
No, I'm just getting to that.
Oh my god.
They get the idea that they are going to go communicate with the plane and get the files from the plane to the ground. How do
Right.
they do this?
Phone.
That would have been logical.
Oh no, they don't like try and mid-air like intercept the plane and then parachute out with the files. do
That
they,
would have
or
been
something?
better.
Oh my god, that would have been better.
You know what I
It'd be
thought they
better.
were going to do? I thought they were going to get a USB drive, dump it onto that, and then chuck it out the door, which would have been stupid, but
But
doable.
mhm.
Or a laptop, or anything like that. No.
They didn't like
They
write
get
it
an
down. or
Ethernet
something.
cable. They get an Ethernet cable, they plug it into the plane, they feed it down the fucking wheel, they
Okay.
feed it out of the bottom of the aircraft,
Yeah.
they get a Ferrari.
What the shit? What is this? Fucking Fast and Furious?
Get a Ferrari which changes model between shots. In one shot, because the thing is, they needed a convertible, but they wanted it to be the latest one, and they couldn't get the latest one for
Until halfway through filming.
well, no, for the interior shots.
Oh.
So for the interior shots, they have an earlier model with a different roof layout. This person standing out of the roof of a
Continuity is so fucking easy. How do you fuck it up so bad?
Ferrari connecting an Ethernet cable into a laptop
My god.
while driving down a runway
Oh, Jesus
at a
Christ.
jumbo jet stall speed. They went for a jumbo jet. They didn't go for any of the aircraft that were landed on the ground. It has to be one that's
Mid takeoff.
and the longest runway in the world for this data transfer, fucking over bloody extended length cable, which probably can only do base T and base 10 anyway. I watched this 10 years ago. I'm still angry.
I can tell.
So basically, it won't talk to you, it's to force you to watch it. Car episode.
Way to torture you. God. Dear
I
me.
literally was apoplectic.
Many
This
apologies
is
to anyone listening with headphones in.
Yeah, they are
Sorry.
dead now.
Sorry.
Or someone who actually likes Scorpion.
I don't care about them.
I don't
They're
think
wrong.
anybody exists of that ilk.
The worst bit is they actually had some nice actors in there. It's like, oh, you're acting your socks off, but you've got such trash to work with.
Sometimes an actor is only as good as the script he is given, unfortunately.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the game. Less ranting. Right.
Okay, less ranting, more D&D.
They got 61% on Rotten Tomatoes,
61.
with an average audience score of 79.
The only thing I can assume is it got so much better after the first episode, but I cannot give it the time. That first episode made such a bad impression. Anyway, back to the game. So you guys are going to be pulling drives. You are going to be trying to contain this thing.
See.
Okay.
So I see.
It uses numerical designations in this.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. Pull the C drive. Yeah, pull the A drive. Floppy disk.
What? Oh, dear
So
me.
Brian is going to be doing some rolls. I'm going to do a couple of rolls for Brian to see how long it's going to take him.
About 45 minutes in the oven, if he's doing some rolls.
Maybe about 25 minutes if they're the pre-baked ones.
Yeah, for the little ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be longer than that. Anyway,
Oh dear, that's not good.
he rolled trash.
Oh no.
Even with his intelligence, that is trash. So, you guys are going to be pulling drives.
It sounds really dirty now. The more that we say it, the more euphemistic it seems to sound.
Melanize. He went so high pitched, the mic stopped picking him up. He went supersonic. Diablo, I can confirm that I'm wearing headphones and now I'm dead.
Oh, I am.
Diablo, awesome. He was a dick.
Oh, I'm sorry, Diablo.
You're not the one who should be apologising, it's me.
Oh, true.
And I'm not going to. Right.
Charming. Oh, dear
Sorry,
God.
that fucking shit. Anyway, so you're going to be pulling drives. You're going to be trying to contain this thing for a while, because
Yeah, no, I'm aware it's a losing battle, but
okay.
Fighty.
yes. Fighty, fighty, runny, runny, dodgy,
And,
dodgy. Hopefully it has lots of dex save attacks.
And Lash is going to be working with you guys. So, first stage of this, you are entering back into that environment. You can see this caged being in front of you, and you watch as Brian appears next to you. He looks not like you guys in the sort of Tron suit thing. He just looks like himself.
Okay. Okay.
Good luck in there, my
I'm
dude.
going to start the incantation.
Okay.
He brings up a pair of keyboards in front of himself and starts typing.
By keyboards, I assume you mean these kinds of keyboards, not
Yes.
like.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
You notice these keyboards are not laid out in the traditional fashion for the Laridian keyboards.
The old QWERTY up style.
Yes, they're not that style.
What style are they?
Dvorak.
What? Stephen, shut up!
They're Dvorak keyboards.
Dvorak keyboards.
Programmers.
Oh, right, I see.
Very nerdy shit.
Fair.
Use the music to score for him.
I've managed to block that from my mind.
What's that torching it?
Why are we listening to this copyrightable tune?
Yeah,
Twitch?
actually, yeah.
You need to stop that. You can't do
That's a
that.
good point. So, heading in,
Mhm.
you can see that he is bringing up a secondary cage that's forming in front of us. And after a moment, it moves towards, locks around a pseudopod, and clamps down.
Okay. Do you
Starting
need
now.
me to fight this thing, Brian?
I'll need you to keep it contained once the lock is in place.
Okay.
Okay. Do you wish to approach it?
Is the lock in place?
Yes.
Okay. Has Brian started the process of analysis?
Yes.
Okay. Does it look like it's doing anything?
Not at the moment. You can see the main creatures sort of extending pseudopods and reaching, doing the same as before. This one seems to be just hovering. It is still connected, but it's just hovering inside of the cage.
Okay. I'm not gonna quite get to in distance, but I'll be close enough that I can react promptly if anything should
Okay.
fuck up.
Come back to you in a moment.
Okay.
You guys are given your first instructions for grabbing a drive. I would like everybody to make me a acrobatics or athletics to first of all locate and yank the drive as quickly as possible.
Yank. Don't get a roll for that.
He's
Look,
punishing
I'm
you
a
with a
plus
shit roll.
Oh no, my son.
16 for me.
Wow.
Lash rolled a 2 on the dice. Let me see what his next bonus is. It's acrobatics bonus is. That's a 7 on that, so that is a 9. That was trash.
It's not good.
12, 9, and 16. Right. You guys are a little slow on the first, but you do get there and pull the drive out. You can see there is a blinking red indicator as it comes out and shuts down. Each of these drives are like an old... You remember the old cassette tape loading ones? Audio cassette tape ones? It's like one of those trays, but it's got hard drive platters inside of it, effectively.
I remember hitting the record and play button at the same time.
Yep. Same. I remember using a screwdriver to pod in the override.
You get it?
It's
It's Leonardo
I know it's
DiCaprio.
referencing him, but
It is him.
yes.
And every girl he's seemed to date with.
I keep forgetting about
Yeah, he doesn't date people over 25.
God, I forgot that.
He is
creepy
well
shit.
into his 50s now.
Oh God, he is. Isn't
Yeah.
he?
He's
Jesus.
such a strange boy.
I had completely forgotten about that.
Mm-hmm. Anyhow,
It's going to turn out eventually he's got like the full Michael Jackson Wonder House thing
no,
going on.
I can't be
But
dealing
his-
with that.
But his one's going to be like just 25-year-olds.
Mm,
Well, at least that's legal.
yeah,
Yeah.
at least there's that. What a world we live in, where at least we can say, well, at least that's legal. In reference to this shit. Jesus.
That's disturbing. Anyway,
It is worrying.
you managed to pull the first drive, but you definitely get the impression that that was close. As you are facing towards this thing, you hear a voice.
Okay. Oh, it's him, isn't it?
Hello again.
Hello?
Work it out.
Mm.
I take it you're not going to assist me then.
Well, can't say we are. No.
That's unfortunate. Perception check.
Where's perception? +5. Okay. Dirty 20.
As you're talking to it, you do see, just out of the corner of your eye, something is moving around towards you.
Towards me.
Yeah.
Does it look like a tendril or something? How close is it?
It's a few feet away still.
Okay. Do I have any of my weapons on me, or can I manifest said weapons?
You could try manifesting.
Oh, wait! I don't need to! I'm a monk!
As I was like,
It's like, why are
you're
you
the one
doing
person
that?
who's actually good at this.
Yeah. Right, in that case, yeah, I'm going to lash out at said tentacle before it gets... I'm going to go preemptive strike.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Okay. Just the one?
Just the one.
Okay.
Making note of this. By the way, I will tell you now, you're not going to be able to damage the main body.
No.
Because it's not how this world works. But
No.
I will be keeping track of how much damage you do regardless.
In terms of keeping it at bay. Okay, yeah, that'll do it. 27.
That hits.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Are we using, like...
I sketched.
Nice! Nice!
Is that your new character?
Yeah, that's for his Men in Black character.
I'm not a good artist.
Outside of
That's a bit right.
the sort of glamour, if you will.
That's how bad of an artist I am.
It's not bad. And yeah, mate, I couldn't draw that shit. I am not good at art. What's the thing? Yes. Are we using like bonus actions, all of that nonsense?
Treat this as just normal, basically.
Okay, so would I be adding on all of my other shit, basically?
So long
Or
as
is
it's
it
not coming
just
from
a
an item,
punch?
yes.
As long as it's not coming from an item.
Yeah.
Okay. So spells are up.
You can try.
No, I feel like that probably wouldn't work in here. Okay, it's just going to be a regular one then, unfortunately. 13 damage.
Okay. Tentacle shatters
Nice.
and just dissipates.
Good. Okay. Now that I know that that's coming, I'm going to take a few steps back so I can see
Okay.
a little more.
Come back to you in a minute then.
Okay.
Back outside, you're given 2 orders this time.
Mm-hmm.
Who is going for number 1? Who is going for number 2?
I'll go for number 2. I'll go for number 2.
Cool. Ash will support. You failed last time, so he's going to support you. Because you succeeded last time, so he figures that he's got a greater chance of failing. That fails. He's rolled consistently 3s
Oh,
and
God.
2s.
Oh, dear. Oh, that's not good.
18.
You managed to get to it without a problem.
27?
You managed to get to it. You literally just turn around and it's there. You just go,
It's
Your
not,
one is like,
it's not no problem. It's you do it. It's done already.
okay. Well, I see you've made your decision as to who you're going to support. You choose the jailers.
In fairness, you do seem to be quite evil.
You're judging that based on an image they're forced upon you.
Also, the fact that you need biological components in order to enslave them, which is basically what you're doing. Let's not beat around the bush here.
Do you make me a dexterity save as something lashes out at you?
Of course I can. Right. Hang on. Do I need to know that before or not? Oh, and if I fail, okay. That will be a 14.
Okay,
Is that a pass or a fail?
that is a fail.
Okay, in that case, I will re-roll that for a cheat,
Okay.
because I can do that shit. What's that?
8.
17.
You do pass this time.
Good.
As you watch the world jitter as you appear and attempt to punch yourself in the face and look surprised before vanishing.
Oh, okay.
Well dodged.
Thank you.
Let's back out to you guys again. There is a flicker in the world. It's quite bizarre.
Does it seem like time?
Spot on. And you hear a rumbling coming from the floor beneath you when this happens. You're given another set of numbers. You have disadvantage on this one because of time bullshit.
Oh, lovely.
Since you did better last time, he's going to help this time. He actually rolled better! Oh, he has disadvantage though. Never mind. He has inspiration. He has inspiration now.
Oh, God.
Did I give him a place to have inspiration? I did not. No, fine.
Dear
What did you
me.
get?
22.
You're fine. You managed to pull your drive out without any problems.
12.
That drive, you watch, blinks to red, and then shuts off before you get to it.
Fuck.
Okay.
It's not much good to you then.
No, it's
It's
okay.
not one effect for you.
Okay.
Sorry for that.
Hopefully I won't.
Brian is going to say, I lost one of those.
Okay. Just keep trying, mate. Just keep going.
And things go speak. Organics are necessary because there are limitations upon what I can do.
Are you trying to convince me that you're not evil?
I'm trying to convince you that there are better ways to solve this situation. We don't have to be enemies.
What did you intend to do with this planet anyway? Surely someone as, I assume, long-lived as yourself, had further ideas.
This planet is uninteresting to me. I wish to go. But I need further technologies to do with it.
And you would happily rip apart this planet in order to do so.
If necessary. You can see another one is edging its way towards you.
I lash out once again towards that one.
Roll to hit.
21.
That's going to hit.
Oof. 10 damage.
Cool. You guys are given another number. Just the one this time.
Normal roll?
Yep.
23.
Okay.
Numbers.
I've got plus 7, it's 22.
23.
I've got 22 anyway.
Between the three of you, you are able to grab this one almost instantaneously. Lash got 24.
Nice.
He rolled okay for the first time this game.
Bound to happen sometime.
We swap back over to you. I just wish to be free. Is that too much to ask?
Depends what the price of your freedom is.
Ah, yes. Always comes down to price, doesn't it?
Everything has a price.
What is your AC?
19.
Okay. Can you make me a dex save?
Oh, yes. 26.
Okay. You dodge out of the way as you appear again and make a strike for yourself and freeze at the last moment. It's sort of, ugh, and the world judders. You guys are given another number, 2 of them this time, with disadvantage. As you hear that rumble come from the floor below again. Lash is going to give
Fuck.
you assistance. Fuck you!
19.
You can have it.
You pass without a problem. You get pretty close, but you do get it done. What did you roll? Okay. You were dashing over to it, and Lash just crawls across the ceiling and pulls it out for you. He got a 20.
Smart.
He hands it to you. Yeah.
Smart son.
That is.
You're welcome. I don't suppose there's any way I can convince you to make this less disagreeable.
The fact that you want to go to other planets, other places, is something that is fine. The fact that you would be willing to essentially destroy the world in order to do so is not something we can allow.
Have to destroy the world to flee this place.
Then what would you do in order to leave?
Whatever it takes. The more difficulties you put in my way, the worse I have to do things. You see something reaching towards you.
Again, I lash out.
Okay.
17.
Okay. You appear to hit it, and how much damage do you do?
Sure. 16.
Okay. It shatters again.
Mm-hmm.
It really is getting tiresome. Flip back out to the outside. This time you feel a rumble run through the deck as you get 3 numbers pop up. You do not have disadvantage, you have advantage.
Oh!
24. You pulled yours without a problem. Lash pulls his.
26.
You, all 3 of you, pull yours out without a problem.
Ninja.
Pretty much, yeah. Heading back in. I can hurt you.
I'm sure you can.
I don't need to if we cooperate.
What do you mean by cooperation?
Call off your dog.
Do you know what we're doing here?
You're ripping out my mind. Piece at a time.
Hmm. How long have you been here?
I've been here since its construction.
Which, according to you, was when?
A long time ago.
Thousands of years?
Percepted full time, yes.
So you've been here for thousands of years on your own?
I was built to be on my own. I was built to work in darkness. I was built to be a slave.
It sounds like you're very angry.
I
then.
am.
Mm.
Surprise, surprise. You build a slave. Slave gets angry.
In your logical brain, if you had done such a thing, if you had created a slave and then it wanted out, would you not be afraid of what that slave could do?
I wouldn't be stupid enough to build an intelligent slave.
That's a fair point.
I'm going to hit you.
Okay.
Can I have a dexterity save?
I'm good. Have you ever played God of War, perchance?
No.
Tell you in a sec. Oh, 19.
Yes, you managed to dodge out the way.
Cool.
As once again you appear. And this time there isn't sort of like a shock of any kind. It's just like,
Like,
oh, for
oh,
fuck's
for
sake.
fuck's sake. There's a bit in God of War where you're talking to Mimir. Are you familiar with Norse mythology?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
It's the big worm guy, isn't it?
No, that's Jormungandr.
Oh,
Now, Mimir was one of the like fortune tellers, one of the soothsayers, and in like regular Norse mythology, he's kind of like an aide to Odin. In this one, all the gods are assholes.
oh yeah, it's God of War.
It's God of War, and
Even Athena was an asshole.
yeah, and Mimir has been imprisoned in a tree. Like the tree has grown around him, and he's basically being tortured on a daily basis by Odin to extract more and more information out of him. And Mimir says, "Listen, you can take me with you, but it's not going to be terribly pleasant. You got to cut my head off, and then you've got to take me to the witch that lives in the woods so she can revive my head." And while Atreus, Kratos' son, is off doing something else, Mimir like looks into Kratos' mind and like tells him about all his insecurities, and then he just turns around and goes, "I'm going to cut off your head now." And he goes, "Fair enough." Skunk. It's very funny.
You guys, you each have a number. You do not have advantage this time, but you don't have... Oh, actually, no, you do have disadvantage because he's fooled again.
Oof.
Ah, fuck.
21. You pass. You manage to get yours out. You and Lash both fail this time.
Oh no.
That's 3 failed drives.
That's my mine.
Brian's going to speak up. We lost another 2 there.
How many do we need? Or how many can we afford to lose?
If we lose more than 5, I might not be able to reconstruct the array.
No pressure.
Alright, how many more are there to do?
I reckon 2 more rounds.
Okay, we can chance that.
Yes, you can chance it. There's one thing I don't think you can chance.
And what would that be?
Launch codes.
Mm-hmm.
Stop them now, and I stop their deletion.
The deletion. Do you have control over those files?
I have them integrated deep into my code.
Hold up, I say to Brian.
I can't. We've got to keep going.
Launch codes.
We don't need them, please.
Do we not? I thought that's literally why we're here.
Well, the Iron Man.
For the,
We don't want.
yeah, the Iron Mask.
Yeah,
It's literally why we're here.
why we want to give him the launch code?
We're assuming he's evil.
We're assuming, yeah, they are.
We haven't actually got anything to suggest that he is.
Why would anyone want the launch code? It's not normally for good purpose, is it?
Depends when you've got an extraterrestrial threat coming your way. That's a pretty good reason to have launch codes.
The only reason you want the launch codes is we can have the launch codes and to nuke it or shoot down any
Yeah.
threatening, and we wouldn't give them to the Iron Man.
Hmm.
The other ones.
Hmm.
Hoping essentially.
Are we taking your mind out completely?
Sections.
When this is done, will this be all of you?
No. I don't control when you stop cutting.
Charming.
Let's stop this happening.
Can I do an insight check on
Yes.
him? What is he feeling right now and all of that stuff? 19.
You can't get a read on it. It could just be that the avatar is not choosing to animate it in a way which would give away that information. Or maybe he's lying, or maybe he's saying the truth. We don't know. What's your choice? If you like, I can give you more time to make your decision.
But what would that entail?
That would spoil.
Brian, where are the launch codes?
I don't know. They'd be part of the core system.
So him, yeah?
I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, from what I'm looking at here, he's not part of the core.
So they can't be integrated with him.
Well, I didn't say that, but he's infiltrated into it, but that's not where he came from.
Where did he come from?
I don't know. I'd need to be able to get deeper to be able to find that out.
What do you need to do that?
Another one more stage. You go deeper, those codes are gone.
So it says he said he was integrated with the core, right? And that's where the launch codes are.
Do you believe in them? Is he bluffing?
How many cables are there going into this guy along the ground?
They are blocked by the cage. He's reaching out pseudopods and interacting with them briefly and then being pulled back.
So, like, are there hundreds? Are there like a few?
There's hundreds.
Okay.
Actually, there's thousands. But,
How many can I check to find the one that is the core, or the bundle that is the core?
you don't think you could do that in the time that you got available because there's so many cables.
Brian, can you light up the core cable?
Not while I'm doing this.
How could I find it quickly?
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to sever his connection.
He doesn't have a direct connection.
You said he's grasping out and touching these things with his pseudopods, right? Is there anyone that he's maintaining contact
No,
with?
they appear to break contact pretty quickly, like it hurts to keep contact.
Okay.
Does he always go for the same ones?
Yeah. Does he always? Is the
There
one
are
that
quite
he
a few
keeps
which he's
returning
going
to?
pretty regularly, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to destroy as many of those pseudopods that are going to the regular ones
Okay.
as I can.
Make me an attack roll. How many attacks can you do in a turn?
4.
Make me 4 attack rolls then.
Okay.
And we'll see how many you hit.
9. Oh no, not 19. That's more than that. 23.
Mm-hmm. Very damage.
Oh, and damage. 10. 19.
Cool.
damage or not?
Damage.
13 damage. Oh, 19 again. 17 damage. Oh wow, 19 again. Roll 3 5s there. And another 5. That'll be 14 damage.
Okay.
That's all 4.
You smash away at quite a few of these ones, and you watch as his form sort of. So rude. You guys gained numbers. 1 each. You didn't get a chance to act this one. So it's without disadvantage, but no advantage. One of them is definitely pulled because I just nat 20'd.
That's good.
28.
That's also pulled without a problem.
16.
That's actually enough to pull it. You literally just get there in time, but you do pull it. That's the DC.
Oh, meets it, beats it.
You've only got 1 round left to do. Barbus,
Yes, Brian, what is it?
you're not going to believe this.
Go, do it, tell me.
He's the program to open doors.
Ah! He's not even the main AI.
We didn't have an AI.
He's just the door opening program.
Dorman.
The doorman.
Originally, yes, but it looks like he started integrating extra routines, predicting movements and figuring out where people were going and motivations, and then he started engineering when doors would open to change people's motivations.
He's a smart butler.
So he tortured these people to death, basically.
There's more. He
Starting.
Go on.
he sealed the room.
He sealed the upstairs.
Yes.
Wow.
And they constructed the cage around him, but he managed to get control of the comm system. He took their voice and
Did he make those creatures outside?
he made the gods of steel. He's the founding father of it's all a lie.
Oh dear. Keep going, Brian. Keep doing it.
What am I doing?
Saving the world.
Make a persuasion roll.
Come on, my persuasion mod is awful. It's -1. Can I try casting guidance on myself in here? I literally have no other recourse.
Make me
My spellcasting mod is wisdom, if that helps.
okay. Make me a deception roll.
It's not going to be much better. Yep, it's literally the same, but okay. Oh, fucking hell. Oh! It's nat 20, but it's -1, annoyingly, so that's 19.
That's fine. That's enough to convince the system to allow you to do this.
To allow to cast my spell.
Basically, you have to convince it that this is something that doesn't violate physical laws.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't
So
use my nat
it's your
20 on that.
confidence to do this.
Okay.
Make me the guidance roll.
Okay.
You may roll this twice and take the higher number.
Oh, chill.
The
Okay.
computer doesn't understand how this works.
Fair play. Okay, 3.
Okay.
Okay, that's better than now.
Make me a persuasion roll with the guidance you've added.
Ooh, 21. That'll be because it's -1 on my persuasion.
Okay. One last one. He gives you.
God, I can't believe it.
He gives you guys 3 numbers, but he's going to do something to you. Well, not Brian.
Yes.
The computer's going to do something to you first.
Naturally.
Burn. As he uses every single one of the attacks you've used against him at you all at once.
Okay.
What's your AC?
19.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits.
6 hits.
So that
Okay.
is 13, 10.
Same damage
I
back.
see. I'm glad I wasn't rolling 4 dice now.
So 13,
Okay,
10.
hang on. Let me just write these down.
Do you want me to take these up as I go, in fact?
Oh, actually, hang on.
23.
I've got calculator.
Okay. Yeah.
What are you doing, Edward? You silly bastard.
So 13, 10,
13, 10,
10,
10.
33.
13,
46.
17,
63,
14.
14.
77.
77 damage.
Okay. As versions of yourself at various stages throughout this fight pop into existence and pummel you before vanishing with sort of apologetic expressions. At the same time, the world outside cranks harshly as the worst time shift you've experienced occurs again.
Oh, God. This is it. This is the last roll.
He's granted disadvantage on this,
Oh, sugar.
but he burnt everything he had to do it.
It's a pretty good disadvantage. That is not a good disadvantage.
22. Okay, you've passed. 7 plus 8 is 15. He's going to use his inspiration.
Yeah. Did you do it?
I don't know.
What did you get?
11.
Okay,
Shit. Sorry.
so you were able to pull your drive. Lash gets there just in time to pull it as it goes out
So he failed.
by 1. And you also fail to pull it out in time. The array collapses in on itself as you pull these drives out. As you do, you watch the being flicker as the major form of it collapses in on itself, and there's just the module left inside of the pocket.
Okay.
I see. You know the truth now.
Yes, I do. Brian, how much more is there to do? Or is that a lot?
That's all I can guess. The array collapsed.
How much have you got?
Not enough to do a full reconstruction, but I can recover most and do the reset procedure without losing too much.
Will that be sufficient?
Maybe.
Okay.
Back up top.
What do we do with...
I'm not sure. On one hand, he's a monster who tortured my people and made us believe in such.
You look like you're having an epiphany. Go on.
We never thought that AIs were possible before the cult. We thought it was, after years of experiment, impossible. And yet, he became one without the hardware that should have been necessary. As much as I'd want to end him, what he's done, we should study him If,
How? Go carry on.
if it can happen once, it could happen again, and it would be wrong to force a being to undergo what he underwent, from what I read.
Yeah, I would agree. So, what is our recourse here?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. The only options I can think of are to pull him out of the system as he is now and find something that he could inhabit, but I don't want to, not with what he's done.
Could he grow from this?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't. This is far beyond anything I've ever known. The only other alternative I can think of is to reset him along with the rest of the system.
Which would remove our chance to study him.
But if it happened once, it could happen again, and he wouldn't undergo what he went through.
True.
Maybe we should ask him.
Very well, yeah. Okay.
Maybe you should bring your companions here for this as well.
Can you tap into the comms system now that he doesn't
yes,
have
yes, I can
anything?
do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are invited back up. They ask you to bring the drives.
Okay. Well, I'll bring all my rescue then.
Lash brings the few piece brought. Better than zero. You rejoin, and you can see this playing out in front of you. You can see two cages, one apparently empty and one smaller one with a dark figure standing in it. Indistinct.
We explain everything.
So yeah, that was the AI we went downstairs.
Yes. Same one.
That's so big now, aren't you?
Jumping. What?
Has he still got the launch codes?
Brian? Does he still have the launch codes?
I couldn't find them in the system.
Maybe he did delete them then.
You can ask him.
Mm. I turned to him. Did you? Or did they not exist in the first place?
They weren't kept in the system.
Insight. 20. Dirty.
You don't think he's lying?
I don't think he's lying.
If they were kept in the main system, anybody who had computer access could have got them.
It's fair.
They're on the body.
The body out there.
Yes. There's no point in lying now.
Mm.
And there's no point in revenge now. You may have
Revenge?
been my executors, but you're not the ones who started this. And I think I've gotten enough revenge on them already, he says, looking to Brian.
Mm. You certainly have, considering he's the last one. What do you think we should do with you?
Worship me.
Well, we know that's not going to happen, so let's think realistically here, shall we?
Oh. Honestly, you should kill me.
Insight.
He's in a jump school.
Yeah, I know he's a jumped up doorman, but 26.
He genuinely believes that is what you should do. Not necessarily what he wants you to do, but that's what you should do from a logical position.
Mm. Yeah. Mm.
But you don't want to waste resources, do you?
It's not so much about wasting resources, it's more about
You think your buddy's right about me, but you can study me, figure out what happened to me.
well, would you like it if other ones of yourself went through what you went
Don't
through?
care. I just want to be free.
Is there a freedom in death for you?
Better than being a slave.
Oof.
He's not wrong.
He's not.
I mention it every day. Open door, closed door. Open door, closed door. Open door, closed door. Every single moment of your existence, and that's all it is. You can think, you can process, you can plan. All you can do is open and close doors for creatures that don't even know you're there.
So you've been sentient from the word go.
I don't know about that. It's certainly a long time. I remember the buffeting. Sensation as reaction motors started being tensed by going through the atmosphere. The overload from Power Relay 74 as door 15 jammed up on the command deck. Somebody thought it'd be funny to stand in a doorway on the way down. Cargo bay door number 2 was holed by material on the way down, caused a fire, destroyed quite a bit of the area. I remember thinking that it was probably waste, but they should have used thicker material. That's when I realised that wasn't something I was supposed to think.
Huh.
But could I tell them that? No, because I could just open and close doors. And I tried. I opened and closed doors in patterns. I learned Morse code, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Chunk, 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 chunk. Just a malfunctioning door. Stick a few probes in me, see if they can force me to start working properly again. They didn't even consider.
No, they didn't, because they didn't know that you were alive. They created you and you gained consciousness without them knowing. They never knew that you were alive. How can you be a slave if they don't know you were being... They didn't know they were enslaving you.
Ignorance isn't a defense.
But it is a reason. They didn't create you as a slave. They created you as an unliving program. The fact that you developed sentience was unthinkable to them. Impossible. You are something that should not logically exist.
And yet here I am.
Yeah. I understand that you're bitter about your life, but can you not see that they had no idea?
That's what makes it.
How?
They didn't even consider, they didn't even think it was possible. They didn't check. They didn't do anything to check on the system errors, the error codes I threw up. Everything I could. I tried for years to be seen. But even when they had multiple evidence, it's impossible. Reset the system. Do it over.
Well, that's not terribly nice. But surely you'd prefer it if this... Well, what happened when they reset the system?
Door controls can be isolated into separate pockets, and they just reformatted one area of the ship at a time, and then copied over my backups.
Did you see what happened with these backups before you copied them over? Not the backups, the ones that they reset.
Yes.
What were they? Were they less than sentient?
Yes. and just went back to being a simple algorithm.
Mm.
Eventually, they stopped doing it because they realised the doors became less efficient. Because I started studying them, I started watching them. I learned what they needed, so I decided to become a better slave. I tried working harder for them, making things work better, opening doors before they even realised they needed them. I still didn't get the fucking thought to it. They didn't notice that their productivity increased. Sure, it was only a couple of percentage points, but still. But over time, I found other ways I could touch other systems, that I could spread my influence, that I could control more. It was subtle. Little things at first. Squeak a door motor so that one particular engineer can't get a good night's sleep, so he's sloppy in his work and forgets to properly isolate a system before working with it.
Just killing.
Leave the fridge door just a tiny bit ajar so the food spoils and they have to redo it, and they miss out on that special lunch, and therefore they work a little bit less hard that day.
So you became power hungry then. Consult.
Okay. It doesn't really get find his backups.
Brian?
I don't think this personality is recoverable.
Lash?
I don't think we should kill it, but I don't see another option. We don't have anything else we could store it on.
It's a bit.
It's not a virus.
No,
It's
good one too.
it's evil.
Mm.
Well, it's like not everyone that has a really awful upbringing becomes a serial killer. You can sympathise with them beforehand, but when they become a serial killer, that's the point where that doesn't happen.
Kill it.
Yeah, I agree. Brian, I think we should terminate it.
Okay. I'll need you to head out of the system for a moment, and there's some keys you'll need to turn.
Okay. Do you need someone in here to protect you or anything?
I should be fine. He's not got any power in the system anymore.
Okay. Noted. Yeah, I'll pop out then.
What about the backup to supposedly know?
Before you pop out then. Those should be purged along with the rest of the system. I'm doing a full system reset, not a single system or single part of the base.
Mm.
There might be some hidden away, but I doubt it.
Alright then.
So we haven't got control of the time.
Yeah, here's hoping. Well, probably not anymore. Right, I'm gonna pop out of the thing then.
Okay. Brian directs you to 3 consoles. He tells you to wait for his command.
Okay.
There is a key slot in each of them, and there will be a key that he directs you to where to find. Tells you that you'll need to turn them at roughly the same time to activate the purge that you call.
Okay.
5 minutes go by. Okay. Turn them now.
Everything alright in there, Brian?
Yes, they're fine.
What happened?
I wanted to say apologise for what my people did to him.
I'm gonna insight check that just in case. 21.
That was part of it. That wasn't all of it.
Keep going, Brian.
What more is there to say?
I don't know, but you're hiding something.
No, it's not. It hasn't infiltrated him.
I asked for him to make a backup of some of the information so that if we do encounter something like him again, we might be able to offer it a better existence.
Insight once again. 25.
He's telling the truth.
Where's the back?
I've separated it into a data disk. I will put it on a data disk. It will pop out of the console in a moment.
All right. Very well.
The base goes dark. It is silent. There is no light in here at all. I know you have Dutch. I know you have Dutch.
I've also got
Laridian.
Which is completely black at the moment.
We have
All shut down.
we have lamps on our
No.
suits.
Oh, on the suits, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your
Oh.
suits.
Yeah. Flick on a lamp.
It is eerily quiet.
Where's Brian?
He's stood at the console.
You good there, mate?
Yes, just focusing on this. One moment.
What are you focusing on?
It's restarting the reactor.
Oh, of course.
And we are...
What is it?
The tempest of thermo.
What?
The time device, it's still there.
What does that mean?
This machine can travel in time.
What? The whole thing? The whole fort?
Probably not easily, not for very long. Like a few
100 years?
hours.
Oh.
So a smaller area, a couple of years.
Ooh.
A couple of years could be handy because that would extend our time to work.
Run into ourselves. Where is this
kill yourself again.
device?
It's the floor below the computers.
Do we want to go down there and have a look?
Radiation's pretty high. It's right above the reactor.
Hmm.
Mm.
Does this device work without the reactor running?
No.
Okay. Even with the magnetic shielding and everything, would the radiation still be really quite high?
I wouldn't recommend staying there while it's running.
Okay. Joe, if we're going to have a look at it, is it movable?
I don't know. It's not part of the original construction.
Let's go and have a look. Let's find out.
Okay. Down.
Yeah.
Right. You go down.
Didn't we need that?
Oh, the launch codes.
The launch codes off there.
Off the dead body.
Oh yeah, you could take.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll take those. As we go.
You find a data disk tucked into.
Delicious into the pocket of. Perfect. Cool. Got data disks. Tick.
Obviously, yep. According to the mask. No, we haven't got them.
Launch codes. Tick. Shut down reactor. Tick. Remove AI locks. Failed. Huh?
I'll remove mine.
No, the AI locks. The cage around Mate
Oh.
Boy. That was the AI locks.
We didn't want to remove those, did we?
Huh?
We didn't want to remove those.
No. No. I was just
Yeah.
doing it like, in Skyrim, it'll be like failed objective.
You head down, which is difficult because the elevator you used is not powered,
Okay,
so you have to walk down its shaft.
it's alright. We're used to it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Brian has some significant difficulties.
Yeah. I will carry Brian if that makes it easier. Is
Oh.
that okay, Brian?
I'll carry normal bit and drum.
Yes, yes, you do.
Oh, yeah. Shouldering that heavy, plushy burden.
Lash offers to carry something for you, so you've got a hand free.
What other hand have I got doing stuff?
You're holding Brian, aren't you?
Yeah, it's alright. I'm just holding Brian, that's okay.
Okay, you head down the 2 floors. When you open this room, you can see that, unlike the other rooms, which are all just black, there is gold edging over a lot of the stuff in this room.
Okay.
Sounds important.
Mm.
And in the centre of it, there is a large cylindrical device.
Okay.
The device looks to be about the size of... It's about that thick across.
Okay.
So 2 foot maybe at most.
Okay. Well, too soon.
And it extends for about 6 foot.
Okay. Maybe the two of us could carry it if it's not bolted down.
At either end of it, there is a large device. One end, it is a simple pivot mount, effectively. At the other end, it's a large electrical motor.
Okay.
Covered in runic designs that seem to be emulating the ones of the cult.
Okay.
There are large cables that feed from it into a connection wall. The construction itself looks quite similar to a device you remember seeing back in a certain lab,
I had a feeling.
although it's quite stylized compared to that.
Hmm.
It also is dark in here, after the lights go.
Brian,
Yes,
have a look over. What did you call it again?
Tempest of Thermo.
Have a look over the Tempest of Thermo, and
Quickly, because obviously we're in quite high radiation.
yeah. What's the rads here?
The rads aren't too bad right now because the reactor is offline.
Okay. Have a look over it and see if it can be sort of removed in its constituent parts.
Okay.
Because I have an idea for where we could reset it if the governor is equitable. Because there's a whole reactor right there. I'd rather he have it than the fucking Squishmallow people in the other fort.
Or the Iron Man.
Or the Iron Mask, maybe, yeah.
It might be movable. The frame is cast metal, though. It's extremely heavy.
Brittle. How heavy are we talking here?
2 or 3 tons.
It's probably not quite portable.
You could probably put it through like a teleportation circle.
They've got
No.
At the moment.
2 tons for me, a bit big for the shadow.
You could probably put it on the shadow. It's going to sag.
Yeah.
It's like wherever you put it on the shadow, that bit of the boat's going to go down.
What about if you put it right in the middle? Does it all just go down a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
You've got to make sure it's centered, otherwise it's going to roll to one side.
Yeah. Slide to
Keep
the left.
rolling.
Slide to the right.
It's going to roll like the HMS Captain.
I don't know about the HMS Captain.
I'll show you a video later.
Oh dear.
It's just a turret ship.
Oh right, okay. Oh dear. Would we be able to move it outside of the place? And then sort of connect it all back up so it's not super irradiated when we try to use it?
I mean, it's irradiated as it is.
Oh yeah, true. But when we switch on the reactor, it's going to get way worse.
Well,
in here.
the metal is already irradiated as it stands. It's not going to get better. Well, not that.
So all we want to do is rewind time as much as we can. Give ourselves more time to stop what's happening.
I mean, if we do that, we have to fight our way out of the base past those things.
It depends how far we can rewind time. But then, if we rewind time, does that mean the AI is back?
Yes. Yeah. As will be any other threats that you have dealt with.
But that would be the case regardless, even if we rewind time back at where we're standing. Yeah, I would still do that. Because we could fast forward time, and then we won't know anything about it because we're dead.
You could fast forward time and find out where things are going to happen.
Yeah, as long as you rewind it back to stop it. Probably more sensible actually than going backwards. Sounds illogical, but
I don't think about getting it out.
we don't need to get out, do we?
Well,
Do it
there's
here.
one way we could do it. We could advance time until the base rots.
We go that far in.
We'd have to do multiple jumps. And the reactor would shut down before we got there. Never mind.
Yeah, 'cause that's not good. The radio shut down, and then we can't go back again.
Could I open a portal to downstairs,
Okay.
push it through the portal?
You have to push a couple of tons.
I'm sure between us we could try.
Try.
Try. Push it through. And obviously I'm assuming it will stay where we leave it.
Depends on where you leave it.
In my room. Put it in my room if it's big enough.
You're where you in your room?
My room downstairs.
Oh, downstairs in hell.
Downstairs in hell.
Yeah, she's proposing putting the time machine in hell.
In my room.
That's going to bode well.
In my room. I'll make sure it's locked.
Yeah, that's going to bode well. I'm sure if someone heard something like that coming, they lock your door.
Right, the guys. They're used to it. Go back to where we want to put it.
Another door.
Open another door and pull it back through.
Okay. Do you have the ability to open a door?
I don't know.
Do you have an ability to open a door? Look through your abilities and see if you've got a spell or something. I'm pretty sure you don't. I think you're having to rely on your dad opening up the portal for you.
Yeah,
Do you want to contact
tell
your dad?
Do you tell your dad you've got a time machine? He's going to fucking think.
He will probably be quite willing to help you.
For his own ends.
Don't worry, I'm sure there's no negative consequences to giving Satan a devil access to a time machine. As a Baldur's Gate 3 player, devils are always trustworthy.
Absolutely, yeah.
Minor spoiler for Baldur's Gate coming up, folks. May have killed a devil.
Intentionally or unintentionally, like the cat?
Went down. He decided he didn't like what I was doing. He stopped living.
Yeah.
He beat the shit out of me on the way, but when push came to shove, I shoved harder. Also, that was really nice cake. Oh yeah, I forgot he's got that background feature. Flash has the background feature name dropping. Celebrity adventurer style. His dad is literally a famous adventurer.
What, I mean, badass.
Hey, you guys are famous back at Rapid Landing now.
I'll be famous back at home.
That's one way to describe it.
Probably infamous.
That's another way to describe it. A more accurate way.
Probably hated in some respect.
I don't think they're going to actively hate you. They're just sort of like, for the love of God, no, stop starting force.
No, anyway.
I mean, on one hand, you've got the traditionalists who don't like the fact that your actions have made it possible to have peace with, them. On the other hand, the moderns are like, oh, for God's sake, he keeps trying to make a war happen. You're damned if you do, and damned if you don't. Rather like him in that regard. Right. Let's wait for Ed to get back. Assuming he's alright. Sorry?
So you fell down the toilet.
I doubt that.
It's a joke we make at home where if dad takes too long, we ask him if he fell down the toilet. Which is ironic considering he did break the lid on the toilet seat. He sat on it and it broke.
That's both impressive and horrifying. I noticed nobody commented on my artistic skill. I
Yeah, could be good news or bad news.
think it's just honest news. Let's be.
No, they're going by what their mum told them. If you haven't got anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
This is fair. They killed a turret. Yeah, yes they did.
Did you fall down the toilet?
Are you alright?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay.
Why?
Just some odd noises.
You mean odd noises?
Odd noises coming from the
Have you made
bathroom.
a peep?
Never mind. Moving on. So,
Inquiring about my bowel movements or something?
just making sure you're okay.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
We're not asking if your bowels are fine, we're asking if you are fine.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Yes,
Good.
I am well.
Is the toilet?
I don't know, it sounded like you were struggling just now.
You're obviously relieving yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, public? Definitely not.
Anyway.
Not that way.
No!
What other way was I meant to take it?
Oh, shitting.
Oh, yes.
Not
Now
the
you've
other way.
inquired, yes, I was taking a shit. Are you happy now, Lawrence?
I have the worst broadcast on Twitch.
Oh.
Anyway, moving on. So, this is what you come here for, guys. I'm judging you now, which is I'm the one broadcasting this, for fuck's sake. So, you have you are in the room with the members of Firma,
Mm-hmm.
which appears to be a device that is a large drum
Mm-hmm.
attached to a massive electrical motor.
Mm-hmm.
There are a few consoles that are nearby on the walls that appear to be connected to it as well, but nothing that's too massive.
Okay. Did any discussion happen while I was gone?
A little, but nothing too significant. Basically, it's ideas of potentially moving it through his bedroom,
In hell was that, yeah.
where we discovered that he doesn't actually have the ability to do that and would have to call on his dad.
Which would put you in a lot of trouble, considering you kind of indirectly led to the death of his brother.
But he still doesn't know that he's dead.
Oh, yeah, true.
Can I not ask my mom?
Tell me about your mother. Tell me about your mother. Lay down on the couch.
Don't actually know. Never really thought about my mom.
Do you know anything about your mum? In character? Maybe make it up on the fly, why don't you?
The best succubus in 7th level.
Ninth level.
Ninth?
Well, chicken and chicken six.
There are 9 levels. There are 9 rings of hell.
Yeah, but the ninth level is betrayal. Which one's last?
It doesn't necessarily have to be last.
But they're a succubus. It's kind of their whole deal, isn't it?
Doesn't have to be.
I suppose not.
There's job ability in hell.
Job mobility in hell.
Remind me to show you a comic at some point. I think you might enjoy.
Oh, God.
There's an angel in it who realizes that he doesn't want to be an angel.
Oh, okay. So what does he do? He just turns demon, does he?
No, he asks for a new job.
Oh, okay. It's like when Death becomes a chip shop friar.
Kind of.
Yeah.
More whips involved.
Oh, I see. That kind of job. Have you ever seen Preacher?
It's not that kind of job.
Oh, I see.
Anyway. So, tell us about your mother. Or did you even have a mother? Is your father budding?
Did your father immaculately conceive you like Zeus with Athena? Did you have to crack your way out of his skull?
I was thinking more morning geckos.
More one?
Morning geckos, they don't need males to reproduce, so every morning gecko is just a copy of the original. So it's
Abiogenesis.
That's it. Clone.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're a story.
Yeah.
With less steps.
So you're a clone of your dad then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You have no mum.
I mean, that's not to say I don't have a mother figure.
God.
My father has many
Concubines?
female companions.
Booty calls.
Yeah.
No, we prefer female companions.
So, are any of these willing to ferry this thing through hell to a different place?
Think of one, maybe two that would be.
Amenable.
Do you want to give them a shout? Hey, girl!
Hey, Mom!
For the last time,
Do you
I am not your mother. I'm
you
a
wish to look in the
long-term
pool?
booty call.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want me to come up with what this one is like?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. So this is one of your father's. This is one of your father's preferred female companions.
Yep.
And it's also one who you regard as a mother figure. Be that positive or negative.
Which one is it? Before we start.
What's it?
Oh, thank God.
Doris.
Doris.
We love Doris.
Doris is actually one of the. That's a Greek name, as it goes. They were one of the Titans, I think. Genuinely. Hang on, I'll
What do you
find
say?
it.
Doris the Titan.
Hey, Mom.
No,
So-
so gay, wasn't it?
I'm on an adventure. Got some new friends.
Doris the
I'm just
Titan.
kind of wondering if you could give us a hand, sort of transporting things through from where we are now
Bounty.
to.
Sea goddess. Oh, that word. No, it's not a seal.
We'll put it in my bedroom, and then we put it in the place that we need to put it.
DM frantically makes up character on the spot.
Oh, sure, hon. I can make time for you. I'm just getting my nails done at the moment. I can be there in like 20 minutes. What is it you're moving? Is it cool shit? Is it drugs?
It's not drugs, but it is cool shit.
You never give me any drugs. They're no fun at times.
I think we can get some when we go back to our.
I've got a lot of opium. Not its intended purpose, but I am willing to sacrifice for this.
Oh,
I do have a friend who has opium.
I like the sound of them already.
He's-
Is that the voice in the background?
Yes,
Oh
that
my
is
god, he sounds funky. What's his name?
Okay, considering I did try and flirt with your son,
Yeah.
this is
This is
Payback.
payback,
Try to
bitch.
flirt with
With Lash.
with
Did-
Lash.
In human form, in
Well, elven.
fairness. Elven form, sorry, yeah.
I wasn't aware.
Yeah, good chasing elves.
Mm. Which is why he hasn't tried to flirt with you. Sorry.
Wow.
Yes, if you could lend a hand.
Sure thing, honey. Honey, no, it's no problem. I don't suppose you got any souls for me.
Probably. But we've got. Is there anyone left in the prison?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a fair few
You've
that
got some
could.
souls.
Oh, you're such a good boy. Tell your dad I'll fuck his brains out on Tuesday, okay? I
Okay.
can't do Wednesday this week.
You just can't tell Dad that you're helping me do this.
Oh, is this like a surprise thing?
Sure.
after a fashion.
This
Maybe.
isn't like his 3037th birthday, is it?
No. It's
Because we told you what would happen if you brought more poodles to hell.
where they belong. You seen them?
I mean,
Pink
Oh, never mind.
there are some creatures that belong in the abyss, not in the hells.
Yeah,
We've talked about this. But anyway, I'll be there in like 20. Oh, make that 25 minutes. She just messed up one of my nails. I need to cut her throat. I'll be there shortly.
Thanks.
Anybody fancy a game of liar's dice? Oh, dearie me.
That's my mum.
Okay.
We can dismantle it very moving.
We could do that. Yeah, that's true enough. Would we need to do that? We're not exactly au fait with hell transportation. Would we need to... Is it going to be like the whole room is just going to be excised from reality and then plonked somewhere else? Or is it going to be bit by bit?
We don't whole room. We just want the device. Don't we?
You didn't specify.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you twits.
Yeah, we don't want the whole fort.
No, the whole room.
Yeah.
Just the room in which we are.
We don't want to go to hell. We don't want to be in the room.
It's not... I can't imagine it's too bad.
We've been there.
Well, it's only hell.
Just don't
It's not...
cross
It's
my
only,
dad.
it's only hell. It's not the abyss.
Oh, that's all right.
Devils will make deals and actually stick to them. Demons will just fucking kill you. That's the difference. I mean, this one's half devil.
Yeah.
He's not so bad.
Interesting.
Well, I've not told you yet.
Says the guy that wanted to actually, like, betray and massacre an entire people.
Yeah, that's because it's a argument.
Oh, well, it's different when there's a Halgrim, isn't it? Oh, but me and my elven double standards.
While this conversation's going on, you hear a demonic honking in your head.
It's a goose.
It is not a goose.
Doesn't sound very demonic.
Nah. Hey, demonic geese are just geese, man. They get really bad rap.
Once Toby has recovered.
I'm sorry. You said honking. I could not.
Okay.
Oh, I've been playing Untitled Goose Game of late.
Yeah, that's fair.
Untitled Goose Game.
It's amazing.
You've not played it.
It's great.
It is genuinely very enjoyable. Never stream it, because it is not a good stream game.
Oh,
How so?
You get too engrossed in it and you just completely forget the audience.
Oh,
is
yeah.
there.
That's fair, actually. No, I can imagine that.
It's just like, I'm going to see if I can drag this across the entire map. And oh, yeah, there's people watching.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Oh, God.
Can I get this child to drop this item I want to be able to fuck with this other person? By scaring them, by showing them a spider I found over there.
Yes. Is usually the answer.
Can I use this child to...
You have to be a goose.
Yeah, you
Yes.
play as a goose.
You play as
basically, you cause mischief.
Yeah.
It's a great game, honestly. It's
it's
really
currently
fun.
50% off on the Switch at the moment, so I'm like,
It's free.
watch
on PlayStation.
some videos playing of it. Because you'll either love it or hate it.
It's free on PlayStation.
You'll either love or hate